I can explain. Hello everyone! What's up? My name's Nivni, featuring Adair and Nivni. It's a pleasure to have all of you. Hello everyone! What's up? Hi! Konnichiwa. Buenos dias. I'm going to be doing a visual novel. Don't worry, I'm definitely going to be continuing the visual novel I've been on. Please be happy. But I feel like in the mood for something a bit more whimsical. I think that's the right description. Huh? Someone in chat? Let me see. Yep. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Jarvar. Blah. But yeah, like I was just saying, I intend to continue the visual novel, Please Be Happy, but I'm in the mood for something different. In this case, whimsical. And that is my Lovey-Dovey Demon. And don't let the whole demon thing fool you. Yeah. This one, it should prove quite silly. Also, I'm hoping you, Jordan, and Jarvar, having a beautiful, lovely day. And Jordan, I hope you start feeling better. Make sure you get plenty of rest, lots of fluids, especially lots of hugs from Bear. Without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Hi then. Day 1. A powerful demon descends. Ooh, who's this demon? Hey, Nene! Where are you, Nene? No problem, Jordan. Come out, sis. We've been searching ages. Riza's right. We must have been wandering around the house for at least an hour. Where have you gone? This isn't fun anymore. Come out, please. Nene! Nene Goose? You silly Nene Goose. Sissy! Nene! This is such a pain. I've been looking for my good-for-nothing little sister for what seems like an eternity. But I still haven't seen hide nor hair of her. I've combed every inch of my grandparents' garden, and I've been in and out of every single room 3 whole times to no avail. Also, chirps, if the audio needs adjustment, just let me know, right? I have no idea where she could be. This is getting ridiculous. My stomach's growling, and I like to conclude this game of hide-and-seek so I can get something up for lunch. I can't start making lunch, however, and Nana refuses to come out. Her cover is limited, and it's not like Nana is small enough to wriggle into the more inconspicuous hidey holes. Right? How about here? Can you still hear the music? Her cover is limited, and it's not like Nana is small enough to wriggle into the more inconspicuous hidey holes like Riza can. She's already 13. Gotcha, Jordan. I'm starting to wonder whether Nene's in the house at all. Maybe she proposed this game so she could slip away on the sly to look around the village. I don't see why Nene would want to go to the village, though. My grandparents live out in the boonies. There's only a couple of shops in the immediate vicinity. There isn't much out here beyond going for walks. and over interesting shapes in the clouds. I've been bored out of my skull for the last few days. At least, I'm not bored right now. Well, looking for my elusive little sister. I'm annoyed instead. Ceci, where are you? No, scratch that. I'm not just annoyed. I'm also getting sweaty. My shirt is sticking to my back. My face is flush. Perspiration. Gross. Ugh. That nene. I stalk out of the kitchen. It's just as neneless as it was the last time I checked, and hang about grumpily in the hallway. When I see her, I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind. Are you sure her, big bro? It's a definite possibility. Jeez. If Nene really has slunk off to explore the village, I'll be pissed. She was the one who laid out the rules for this little game. Said she was the one who proposed it. And said we had to stay in the house and the garden. My darling little sister wouldn't go back on her word, would she? Knowing Nene like I do. Yeah, she totally would. No, big bro. Reza grips at him, my shirt, his brown eyes wide with worry. Hi, guy, this epic gamer. We just started. Hiya, slick resonance. We just started. It seems our protagonist is Taichi, I think is. Taichi. Hi, Fred eating her smiley face. Yeah, don't worry, I'm going to be continuing that other visual novel. Please be happy, but I have also think we're whimsical and a bit of eye candy. Don't get mad at Sissy, please. Yes, Taichi or Taiki. I'll have to look at his name more, but yeah. These two, they're looking for, I guess his sister, because they're playing hide and seek. Don't get mad, Sissy, please. I don't like it when you shout. We're supposed to be having fun. We're on holiday. I am doing fabulous. Thank you for asking. Hope the rest of you are doing great too. Taiki. Or is it Taiki? Or Taiki? I think I'm gonna call it Taiki. Jura says, Nippa just probably to say hi for the stream. Sorry about that. No problem. You guys like watching this video. You take care of yourself, Jordan. Get plenty of rest. I'll miss you. See you later. Maybe Risa's right. I shouldn't be letting a silly game get to me. I do wish that Nene would make this a lot easier on us. But when has she ever made things easy? You're welcome, products. At this point, I'd be an idiot to expect anything else from her. You're right. I'm sorry, Riza. I won't shout at Nene when we find her. Even if it takes another hour. You have my word. Do you mean it? Sure. I don't want to spoil your holiday. You're meant to be having fun. And I guess the whole point of hide and seek is to hide. That's right. Sissy's hiding like she said she would. She's really good at this game. She's a little too good, if you ask me. But whatever. I'm sure we'll find her eventually. Let's keep looking. Right. Let's do our best. I resume my search for Nene, my baby brother in tow. We're ready to scope out the kitchen, so I guess the living room would be our next logical port of call. I scoured every inch of the living room already, but you never know. Maybe Nene's switching up her hiding place to avoid being caught. Well, I mean, if it's never been established, you can't like change hiding places. But I think that's just some basic hide-and-seek decorum. My sister's not the brightest bulb in the box. Her grades are abysmal, actually. But she could be pretty devious. My search of the living room, however, doesn't unearth anything particularly illuminating. One of my sisters is sitting there, flipping through channels on her grandparents' ancient TV set. But it's the wrong one. This particular sister of mine is named Chiharu. She's about as nene like as is possible to be. Nene is 13 years old, and she's an inexhaustible bundle of energy. Chiharu, meanwhile, is significantly more stoic. Chiharu is pretty close to me in age, being 18. I'm 1 year older than her, and she's incredibly fashion conscious. She spends ages straightening her hair every morning, which seems a bit of a waste. Still looks plain straight to me already. She's also very particular when it comes to applying her makeup. Chiharu has a wardrobe full of fancy, expensive clothes back at home, in cute shades of beige, and pale peach, and baby blue. Chiharu's taste might tend towards the soft and the sweet, but the woman behind these clothes, she doesn't like to be called a girl, is anything but. It's not that Chiharu is mean-spirited per se, but, well, she's not the sort of big sister who ever joined with a familiar game of hide and seek. She thinks she's too mature for such infantile pursuits. And now he's been here, I figure Chiharu would have told me already, but it never hurts to check. Hey, Chiharu, have you seen Nani around? Chiharu shakes her head. Her eyes are trained on the TV screen. She doesn't even spare me a sideways glance. How cold. Do you know where she might be? Don't you have any ideas? Jeez. The third time really must be the charm. Cause this finally gets Chiharu to look at me. She frowns in an arch, aloof way, then says, "No, Taiki. I don't know where that stupid sister of ours is. How many times do I have to tell you? Now, leave me alone. Shoot, I've got better things to do with my time than talk to you." Better things, like watching a rerun of A Glass of the TV. I think I recognize these actors. This series used to be pretty popular once upon a time. Our mother was fond of it, despite being a sappy melodrama aimed at teenagers. Love Under the Shining Stars? That's Love Under the Starry Sky, actually. Huh. Well, I don't know. I just got it right. Good for you. Do you want a prize? Nah, at this point I settle for finding Nene, so I can start on lunch. Good luck. You'll probably need it. Chiharu turns back to TV and the rerun of Love Under the Shining Stars. Sorry, Starry Sky. Well, that was a waste of time. With no lease to work with, I leave the living room. Reza trailing along behind me like a lost puppy. I do another scan of the house, but I still can't find Nene. Defeated, I head out to the veranda. Once there, I take a seat and examine my grandparents' sprawling garden. Reza sits down beside me, his legs swishing back and forth like metronomes. The sky is bright blue, daubed with only a few wispy white clouds. It's a pretty day, I guess, but the agitation over this endless game of hide and seek, coupled with how hungry I am, is making it hard to appreciate the beauties of the natural world. I don't like to admit defeat. I'm stumped. What's Nani playing at? Where could she be? I was annoyed at Nani in the beginning, but now I'm starting to worry about her. I've explored every nook and cranny of my grandparents' place, and I'm still turning up blank. I've been everywhere, except for Grandpa's study. Grandpa's study is a no-go zone for everybody, but Grandpa himself. Grandpa's always been pretty strict on that, for as long as I can remember, ever since my parents took me to stay with my old folks over the summer. When Jar and I were little kids, before Nene and Reza were born, Grandpa once took us to one side and told us to keep out of there. I don't like to tell you children where you can and can't go, but I have a lot of expensive old books in there that cost me a fortune. I've had to do a lot of traveling to get my hands on all those tomes, and an awful lot of handling. Why, my collection could rival the Library of Alexandria back in its heyday. Now, you need to promise me you'll be good and keep away from there. Do you understand? I'm not saying this for the sake of it. I'm being serious. You can go anywhere in the house you want. My study is off limits. My grandpa's a jovial, jokey kind of guy. So, hearing him sound so serious made a pretty big impression on me. I've never been in the study before, and I have no idea what's in there. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. I couldn't help but wonder, as a kid, what treasures might have been stashed away in there, but I've always had too much respect for him to break my word. I promised that I would leave his study alone. I swore on it. Nana made the same promise a few years later, when she was a little kid. But Nana's always been enticed by the unknown. Grandpa keeps the door of his study locked 24/7, but I wouldn't put it past Nene to try and jig the door open with a hairpin. There's a lot of things I wouldn't put past my younger sister. She's awfully audacious. Could that really be true? I mean, could that really be it? That snake. Where's the snake? No, that's not what I meant. I was talking about Nene. She's a snake. She is? She does make strange hissing sounds sometimes, but I don't think she has any skills. She isn't very slippery either. Hi, Azil. Good to see you. Blah. I think it's eels that are slippery, not snakes. Not that it matters. I don't mean literally. What I'm trying to say is, that rotten little sister of ours has tricked us. The more I think about it, the more convincing my hypothesis feels. It would be just like Nene to break into her grandpa's study. I'm surprised it didn't occur to me sooner. That idiot. I muttered this under my breath, though I'm unsure whether the insult is directed towards me or my little sister. I can't believe I let this happen. How could I have been so stupid? Well, I guess there's nothing for it but to drag her out of there, preferably before she makes a mess out of Grandpa's expensive books. Please, don't let me leave you too late. Too late for what? What is it, big bro? Nothing too serious. At least, I hope it's not. Now, you stay here, alright? I'll be back before you know it, and Nanny should be with me. Do you know where she is? I have a pretty good idea. When I see her, I really might have to shout at her. That stupid sister of ours deserves it. I was really sincerely hoping that Nanny wouldn't be in our grandpa's study. I didn't want to believe that my younger sister would disregard our grandpa's wishes so flagrantly. But alas, that would be asking for too much. You always find new ways to disappoint me, Nene. You dummy. Door to the study, which is usually locked, opens easily beneath my grasping fingertips, without any resistance. Nene must have jimmied the lock after all. At this point, evidence is irrefutable. Since she went to the effort of shutting the door behind her, I had no idea she'd come inside here. Not till now, at least. It was clever of her to hide her evil plan, and now I've caught it onto it, and I'm not gonna let her off the hook. Nene! I know you're in here! Come out right this instant! Then, my indignant remarks trail away. However, once I get a good look at the inside of my grandpa's study, almost every available surface is filled with bookcases, tall, towering constructions which stretch to the ceiling. These bookcases are, of course, filled to the brim with books. There are so many of them. Looking at them is making my head spin. How long would it take to read all these? I had no idea. There's a desk pressed against the back of the room, which is heaped with even more books, an ancient typewriter, a few candles, and what seems to be a human skull. Is that genuine? You know what? I don't want to know the answer. My grandpa's study does have windows, but the curtains have been drawn. They're pretty thick curtains at that, which block most of the sunlight. There's something decidedly arcane about all this. Occult-like, even. Human skull on Grandpa's desk. I sure hope it's not a real skull. Heightens my mounting sense of unease. It looks like my grandpa has some pretty weird hobbies after all. This is incredibly freaky. So much so, it takes a few moments for Nena's missing ears to register. When I finally come to my senses, however, I realize that my earlier supposition was right on the money. My youngest little sister has, indeed, been squirreled away in Grandpa's study this last half hour. She's engaged in some truly bizarre behavior. Nana just draws something that looks suspiciously like a pentacle on the tatami floor with dark ink. On each point of the pentacle is a candle, which I suppose Nene must have liberated from Grandpa's shelves. These candles are all lit, and they flicker ominously in the dark. Nene's holding onto one of Grandpa's books in one hand, but she isn't looking at it. Instead, her eyes are focused on me. Taiki, what art thou doing here? Nene tends to talk like she comes from a different century, though I don't know why. I think she's just looking for attention. I could very ask you the same question. What are you doing here? You know you're not supposed to come in here. What's that weird shape on the floor? You didn't draw that, did you? Sissy. Rissa, who must have been telling me, do not tell him to stay in the garden, appears at my side, his eyes widening with alarm. What's going on? Why is it dark in here? It's spooky. Reza? What's the meaning of this? Dost thou not know that grandfather's study is out of bounds? Says you! If you know that, then what are you doing here? You still haven't answered that question. Well, that is... Riz and I were searching for you ages. Did you stop thinking about how we felt? You're right, Sissy. I was really scared. You come with us. This place is creepy. We shouldn't be here. Grandpa will be mad if he finds out about this. I'm starting to think that our grandpa really might be mad. And not in an angry sense. All that weird stuff he's collecting is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I always thought that grandpa was nice. A normal old guy. A normal old man. His greatest eccentricity in life was an inexplicable love for fishing. I had no idea he was into all this hocus-pocus nonsense. What our grandfather doubts know shall not hurt him. This Dark One did nothing wrong. Therefore, this Dark One feels no remorse. What about that weird shape on the floor then? Didn't you draw that? Perhaps this Dark One just... No, there's no perhaps about it. I can see the ink on your fingers. You're going to get that book dirty. But this Dark One was only following outline long before provided, faint though it was, upon this very floor. Grandfather himself must have drawn this shape in the past. This Dark One meant only to replicate what he himself had done prior. You mean, Grandpa drew that strange symbol? Reza hugs his stuffed bunny, Flopsy, close to his chest, his brown eyes full of concern. I don't believe it. This is too weird. Grandpa's always been so nice. This is very weird, yeah, but there's no need for us to stand around talking about it. We need to wipe that weird shape off the floor before Grandpa sees it. And we need to put these candles away too. As for that book, meanwhile, I eye the grimoire that Nenny's holding. We need to put it back where it belongs. Give it to me. This Dark One sees not why thou acquiesce to your demands when thou art being so very rude. Does Mother know you wear with her drapes? With the powers bestowed upon me by the Dark Lord, I could dissolve your bones into slime, whereas thou stand. Yeah, like I heard that one before. This Dark One is the most excited, however, and first she ventured into the study and discovered these wonderful books, all of them devoted to the subject of the arcane. I was certain within these shelves there was be a tome replete with ancient knowledge which I could use to shore up mine own magic, but woe is me. I have perused through many of these books and attempted many rituals, yet they all hath ended in failure. Nothing happened. This Dark One has not been able to summon so much as a salamander, let alone a denizen from another realm. Oh, so is that what you're trying to do? I snort. Did you really think that you could summon a demon? This Dark One had nursed some hope, yes, but this grimoire must be defective. Grandfather's collection is impressive indeed, but I fear he has spent a large sum of money on forgeries and fakes. These books are all but broken. They do not contain so much as a speck of magic. No, duh. Magic doesn't exist, not outside the realm of those sleek fantasy stories you like so much. Now, give me that book. It doesn't work like you said, so there's no point in clinging to it. Alright. Nene sighs severely. She gets her feet, then hands the grimoire over to me without further complaint. I guess Nene must be feeling pretty let down, despite all of her grandstanding. Really though, what was she expecting? Of course none of those spells in those ancient books worked. Why would they? There's no way demons are real. And if they are, I doubt they let themselves be summoned so easily. That's what I always thought. At least. But... Means idle curiosity. But I never heard a demonic grimoire before. This book has some real heft to it. It really feels like a real deal. I don't know who wrote this book or why they wrote it, but they must have been pretty serious about all this mumbo-jumbo. And Prax is smiling. They really have written a lot. I crack open the book, then glance through it. The page eyes upon is yellowed, but it's also badly discolored that I can't read it. Well, I would be able to read it if the text was in Japanese. I'm sure I've never seen this particular writing system before. It's clearly not Japanese. And I don't think it's English either. Something about it looks familiar. I almost feel like this book is calling out to me. I know that's ridiculous. Of course. All the same. And then his candles begin to gutter out, one after another. I shouldn't be able to understand any of this text. How can I? I don't even know what the language is written in. But the words seem to rearrange themselves before my eyes. Dry lips and a dry throat. I inhale. Then I begin to read. I read quietly, my voice a little more than whisper, embarrassed by my own impressionability. I often just go Nivni for her fancies. And now, I am even being sillier than she is. There's nothing special about this book. I'm just interested in it because it's so unusual. I know I should put it to one side now. Make a start in clearing away these candles and clear up the odd shape. I know that. But... Big bro, are you alright? Taiki, what is it? Thou's have been standing there like a statue for the last minute. Thou's not having fever, doest thee? For some reason, I can't move. Like a man possessed, I continue to read from the book in my hands. I read on and on until... Does that not think it feels very cold here all of a sudden? You're right. It is pretty chilly. What could it be meaning behind this sudden change in temperature? This dark one doth not understand. But... perhaps my intuition was not wrong after all. I fear that book must have enthralled our hopeless older brother. It feels like invisible hands are sliding down the collar of my shirt. All the warmth has drained from my body. My fingers are frozen, clenched around my grandpa's tome so tightly, like claws. The candles lying in the study begin to flicker. And then... What? They spurt out entirely, plunging the room into perfect darkness. Well, Gray, that's not all disturbing. I thought Grandpa's fascination with the coast is nothing more than an indulgence of an old man. This was beyond all my expectations. I guess there's like a rational explanation for all this. Fluctuations in the temperature are normal. The cows could have got out on their own. But this all seems a little too perfect. What are the odds that a string of unlikely phenomena will occur right after reading a passage from this creepy old book? Something's definitely up. I can feel it. Though I went to use such an obvious cliche in my bones. Grandpa's study isn't just cold now. Not anymore. It's downright glacial. translucent tendrils of fog begin to unravel themselves from about the base of the bookshelves, and... Jeez, that's the only out season, but it's also highly unusual. Surely it should be foggy indoors. It shouldn't be waiting inside either, come to think of it. Well, my grandparents' house is pretty old. There's no way my sleeves should be flapping around like this. Something screwy's going on here. Grandpa's study was already dark, even with the lights on. Now, what with all the fog, it's getting hard to see a foot in front of my face. I turn about this way, and that, eyes wide, I feel trapped. It's like I'm lost in a hazy void. I think this is all pretty freaky, to be honest. But knowing Nene, I'll bet she's loving every second of it. Cue the cheery exclamation in 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness! This is truly incredible! This dark one has no earthly clue what is occurring, but it's like something from a manga. This dark one has been waiting for this day for ages, and now it's finally come. I'm gonna be your protagonist of my very own supernatural adventure. Yeah, I figure. Now the initial shock's worn off, and it's starting babbling incoherently. I doubt you'd be the protagonist of this story, dummy. I'm the one who read from the book, not you. Details, details. I'm the one who found the book. Do not forget, thou canst not ignore my role in all of this, my dear older brother. Oh, I won't. I'm actually regret this, Nivni. That is, get out of this situation alive. I want to be optimistic. I'm too much of a realist. Even in a blatantly unrealistic scenario like this, to hunt out too much hope. I don't know what's going on, but the world at large doesn't seem too happy with all my supernatural meddling. Have I brought something ancient cursed down upon us? Temperature continues to plummet to such a degree, I wouldn't be surprised if ice crystals began to form upon my eyelashes. Then... my breath, or what remains of it, leaves my lungs in a sharp gasp. There, in the fog, I could see someone, and it isn't Nene, or Reza. I could see in the vague, shadowy outline what I take to be a person. But they don't look like an ordinary person. I could see two strange appendages protruding from the top of their head, which can look an awful lot like horns. And their back, meanwhile, beats a pair of bat-shaped wings, and from the rear, I can see a tail? Damn, this isn't good. Have I really made a contract with a demon? My gosh, this is so cool. Nene doesn't seem to have any problems with all of this, but she lives in a fantasy world most of the time anyway. I guess her sense of reality is less clear cut than most people, and less clearly defined too. As such, she has no idea how to appropriately react to a bizarre situation like this, which wouldn't, in my opinion, be, this is cool, but what is going on? Nene has a lot to learn about appropriate behavior, but I guess I'll cut her some slack. She's only 13. Shit, she's only 13. She's just a little Ken. What do I do if this creature tries to hurt her? What about Reza? Since I'm the oldest out of all us, I should try to protect them. But I got no idea how to do that. What's the best way to deal with a demon? I should probably just start by asking her name. Just to be polite. My throat's so dry, I can't get any words out. Damn it. It's bad. What am I supposed to do? Only half an hour ago, I had no idea demons existed. I thought they were all magic and make-believe. I know otherwise now, but I wish I didn't. Ignorance really is a bliss. I begin, but I'm still cut off, fortunately, by a voice which is much gentler than I was expecting. You, human boy, who travels before me, I've got a question to ask you. Yes? What is it? Demon's eyes seem to penetrate the fog. They're bright and red, just like rubies. Oh. Oh. Hi there. Slowly, the mist clears. I can see the demon in more detail now. They have pale skin, pink hair, and... Wait. A very sizable chest? Demon girl is pretty slender, and rather short. That chest of hers looks even more incongruous. It doesn't help, or hurt, depending on your perspective, that she's wearing such a skimpy outfit either. Well, I fear our supernatural gifts will look unusual. Being a demon and all, this goes beyond my wild expectations. I guess, even if she does kill me, I could die happy after getting I feel somebody so pretty. I really though, I'm starting to wonder, are all demons this busty? Go Swift. Hey, Go Swift. Hey, Go Swift. Were you being sus too? Were you waiting till this came up before you say anything? I don't know about much about demons. I never met any before. No, I really started to wonder. Demon By. Demon girl speaks again in her soft, sweet tone. And, geez, I shouldn't be gawping at her boobs, even if she is dancing in another world. And Ghost Wolf says, no. It's just bad manners. Yep, it's just bad manners. I must ask this of you. Are you my summoner? Demon girl looks at me. I look back at her. Her red eyes are so intense. It feels like they're looking right through me. Finally, I can breathe again. I open my mouth, meaning to answer her, but... Taiki, wonder what's going on? What are you doing in Grandpa's study? And why did you take Riza with you? You know we're not supposed to come here. You'll be in big trouble when you fight. Wait, what? Chiharu stares at the demon girl. Then, her face blanches. Who in the world is this? No, that's a very good question. I just wish I knew the answer. Taiki's summer vacation takes an unexpected turn. Ah, her name's Elizabeth. I think I picked the appropriate word to describe this. Yeah, whimsical. Elizabeth might be a demon who comes from hell. But she's a lot scarier than Taiki ever expected. Elizabeth and Taiki slowly begin to grow closer. But can a human and a demon really be together? My Lovey-Dovey Demon. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happened, and I guess that brings us to the present. Really now, that is quite the tale. Well, at least Grandpa's not pissed off with us for being in the study. I must say, I never thought that anything like this would come to pass. I'm thinking too over all this magical malarkey now. I sigh. I'm a quarter of my grandpa's age, but I think I'm too over all this nonsense too. I'll admit, it sounds pretty well, but this girl is obviously real. I really did summon her, though how? I'm not quite sure. She really is a demon. I heard that. Her wings and tail are incredibly convincing. If they look real, that's because they are. I'm definitely a demon. If you don't believe me, I can move my tail switch. Just look. Demon Girl's tail switches back and forth as she speaks, which makes my grandma gasp. Oh, Albie, isn't this intriguing? Intriguing is one word for it, I guess. Personally, I go for pain in the ass, but, well, I guess that's more than a single word. Jeez. My grandparents look pretty bemused about this whole affair, and I can't say I blame them. I'd be bemused too if, after coming back from being at the village hall, I was confronted by a literal demon sitting, all innocent-like, in the very traditional tatami-floored living room. My grandpa, in particular, doesn't seem to know where to rest his eyes. Bless your soul, Grandpa. Bless your soul. He's been staring in the vicinity of our new demon friend for the last 10 minutes during my explanation, all while trying, or I gather, not to gawp at her chest. If my grandpa's having issues with the demon girl's scanty attire, he's not the only one. I'm not sure to look myself. Maybe it's easier not to look at her at all. Just stare into her eyes. Her eyes look lovely. Would that be rude though? I'm not sure what the proper etiquette is when dealing with demons. I never met one before. This might come as a surprise, but this isn't exactly a common occurrence. I still have no idea how this happened, but since it happened, I guess we'll be stuck with this strange girl for a little while. I'm sorry that I went into your study, Grandpa. I really am very, very sorry for the inconvenience. Hi, you tickle funny. Blah. I never wanted things to turn out this way. What? The demon girl pouts and then says, "Why do you call me strange? There's nothing strange about me at all. Where I come from, demons are a dime a dozen. You're the one who looks strange to me, and I do have a name, you know. It's Elizabeth, and you do well to remember that. I can't believe you introduced me to your grandparents without asking me why I'm called first. Yeah, that's my bad. I had a lot on my mind, though. Like, you barging into the house uninvited. It's been a huge production. Well, I'm very sorry, Taiki, for being a bother." Elizabeth? Why does she have a fancy European name? That's gonna be annoying to remember. Scowls. I didn't mean to barge in here, though. You invited me. I wouldn't be sitting here if you hadn't summoned me. But I didn't mean to summon you. This is all a huge misunderstanding. You didn't? No, I didn't. How could I set out to summon you when I didn't know, up until half an hour ago, that demons exist at all? Now, I need my temple with my fingertips. I think I can feel a headache coming. I'm sorry for dragging you all the way out here, Elizabeth, but I don't know if you could stay here for very long. This isn't my house. It's my grandparents. and they have their hands full looking after my siblings already. There really isn't a room for you to stay. And you're a stranger. Since we ascertained this odd accident, would you mind, going back to where you come from? What? Elizabeth's face falls, which is a bit of a shame. She is rather pretty. But I shouldn't get hung up on that. What if she's a succubus? I don't want to wind up in her thrall. But I don't want to go back. No. I fear that Elizabeth would be jumping for joy at the chance to return to her home. But she betrays my expectations. She looks utterly devastated. I've wanted to come to the human realm for a long time, ever since my mother told me stories about it. We demons can't cross the rift to the human realm on our own, so we need to rely on the magic of mages to anchor us. There are so many few mages nowadays in the modern era. However, I was worried this will never come to pass. Now that I'm finally here, it really does feel like a dream come true. My reception has been less than warm. It's true. But even if I am a nuisance, I don't want to go home right away. I want to stay here. Talk about curveball. Elizabeth staring at me, her eyes all wide and imploring, like a frickin' puppy. Now, I'm starting to feel guilty for scolding her. Part of me is beginning to wonder whether I shouldn't let her crash here after all. That is up to me to decide. This isn't, like I said, my house. I understand how you feel, and I'm sorry for getting your hopes up. I don't really think this will work. My grandparents are getting on in their years, and I don't know if they'll be able to look after you. Is it feasible? It's not fair either. I don't know, I mean, she's a grown woman. Grown demon woman. Maybe she could look on her own. They're busy enough as it is. So... Now, Taiki. I appreciate your consideration, but you've not let me speak about this matter just yet. I'm not sure it's Taiki or Taiki. Maybe it's Taiki. Taiki. I might be old, but I'm not so very old that I can't make my own decisions, especially about the guests who I'm having to stay in my own home. What? But, Grandpa, sure you can't mean to let this strange girl... That's Elizabeth. I mean Elizabeth. Stay here. She's a total stranger. She might be to you, perhaps, but... Tell me, young lady, is your mother also a demon? Of course she is. I live in the demon room with her. And with my father, too. My mother is very well respected, actually. I don't mean to boast, but... Elizabeth puffs her chest out proudly. She's immensely powerful, even amongst demons. Her magical abilities put the rest of our people to shame. People always come to her for advice. There isn't anything she can't help with her. No problem is too big or too small. My mother really is the best. So, Elizabeth is a mummy's girl, is she? I never would have known. I guess she's kind of childish. Her appearance aside, you not catch me waxing all poetically up on my own mother. Not in my age. It's all kind of awkward. But, like Elizabeth's twitching tail, part of me does find it strangely adorable. For a demon, Elizabeth seems awfully earnest. Maybe she's not a bad person after all. This might be a shot in the dark, but your mother wouldn't happen to be called Kanza, would she? Oh yes, that's my mother's name. But how did you know that? I'd be pretty interested in hearing that too. Well, what's going on, Grandpa? Well, it's a bit of a complicated story, but I could try to paint in broad strokes. You see, I was once on good terms with Kanza, and though I haven't spoken to her in many years, I like to think we're good terms even now. We parted amicably enough. I have nothing but the highest regard for her. To explain things properly, however, I suppose I have to start at the beginning. I'm sure you saw it earlier, Taiki. Yeah, I'm gonna pronounce this Taiki. When you went to my study, I have a lot of rare books. Yeah, I did. You've got quite the collection. Sorry about I saw all that, though. I know your study's supposed to be out of bounds. No, it's alright. I might have told you to keep out of my study when you were younger, and your sisters and your brother too. That was because I was concerned about my books. I was worried you might damage them, inadvertently of course. I know you will, Taiki, my boy, and I know you're not at all malicious. You never damaged any of my books on purpose, and neither would Chiharu and Riza. When it comes to Nene, however, you're less certain about her. She can be rather rambunctious, yes, though I know she doesn't mean any ill by it. She just gets excited when she sees shiny new things. I can't really fault her for being curious though. There's nothing wrong with having a healthy interest in the world. That only works if it stays healthy though. I moan this under my breath, while my grandpa speaks up cheerfully. Personally, I think Nene must take after you in that regard, dear. You've always been obsessed when it comes to your research, particularly in matters of the arcane. Indeed, that's a quality Nene must have inherited from my side of the family. I wonder about that. Maybe Nene did inherit her obsession with the supernatural from our grandpa. That track, given his peculiar taste. Nene sure as heck didn't inherit her fashion sense from him though, or her way of speaking. All these eccentricities, I think, come from playing too many silly mobile games. In any case, none of my books were damaged, so I don't much mind that you went into my study. You must have noticed, though, that all my books are about the occult. Yeah, it did seem that way. All those leather-bound tomes gave me a start for sure. So did the dripping wax candles on the table. And skull-shaped decanter. My grandpa's study looked so much like your stereotypical witch's abode, it really threw me for a loop. I still haven't gotten over that particular plot twist. Well, I'll let you in on a secret, Taiki. I didn't much want to discuss this. I know it seems awfully eccentric, but I suppose I'm old enough now that I can afford a few foibles. Cat is well and truly out of the bag. So, my grandpa leans in, his fingertips pressed together. I'm something of a dilettante when it comes to the topic of demonology. It's an area of study I've been interested in since I was a young boy, younger even than you, Taiki. I started collecting books from my collection shortly after my 18th birthday, and over the years, my collection has only continued to grow. I travel all around the world, to China, and to Malaysia, and to Europe, on the hunt for rare tomes to add to my library. But I am getting ahead of myself. My interest in the demon realm was initially piqued by a single tome I found when I was a little more than a lad. I had no interest in demons then, and I did not think they existed until I found that book buried at the back of a second-hand bookshop. The tome was aged, and its page brittle and yellow, and it seemed, at glance, most unassuming. Despite that all, however, I was drawn to it. I found this book many years ago, but I still can't remember how it made me feel. It felt almost as though it was crying out to me, I was quite powerless to resist it. I hurried to pry that book from the case which I held it. At the moment I touched it, I knew. Oh, the things I knew. It felt like all my life's mysteries were unraveling before my very eyes. I now believe that book wanted me to have it. It wouldn't have called out to me otherwise. I purchased this book at once, of course, for a paltry sum, priced worth for less than its contents deserved, and swiftly took it back home. My heart was pounding with excitement all the while, Taiki, my boy, as I held this tome, for I knew within its pages lay my destiny. I took that book up to my bedroom, fearing for all the world that I was committing a crime, and opened it. I pored over the book's discolored pages and soon discovered it was full of rituals, all of them strange and arcane. I was so excited, I could not control myself. I knew there was no time to lose, so I hastily conducted one of the rituals which was inscribed within that book, and... My grandfather leans back, smiling all the while. I suppose you can guess what happened next. Right. I think I could tell where my grandpa's going with this story. Fantastically, though, it sounds, but I still feel obliged to ask a question which has been weighing on my mind. That book you found in that shop, it wouldn't happen to be the same one I used to summon Elizabeth, would it? That would seem to be the case, yes. It was when I was perusing the pages of that book, after all, reciting the ritualistic words written upon those pages, that I summoned Kandaza. This incident occurred over 50 years prior, but it irrevocably altered the course of my life. It was from that moment that I know demons do, in fact, exist. That our world is not as mundane as most people think. Kandaza taught me many things, and I like to think that I, in turn, gave her much to think about. She enriched my life for the handful of months that we were together, and though it has been a long time since I spoke to her, I have not forgotten her. It cannot be a coincidence, I think, that this young woman sitting before us now, with her horns and tail, looks so much like Kandaza. I knew from the very moment that I saw her, she must have been one of Kandaza's relations. This must be the work of divine providence. I have come to realize over the years, there are no coincidences in this world. Our every encounter is an act of fate, as too is this. Now, let me welcome you once more. It truly is a pleasure to meet you, Elizabeth. I'm proud to make your acquaintance. I'm pleased to meet you too. It's an honor. Well, I guess I'm pleased too, but seriously, that's quite a wild story, Grandpa. Isn't it just? My grandpa chuckles. I'm feeling utterly baffled by all this. He looks perfectly in this element. His eyes are shining just like a naughty schoolboy's, one who's played a successful prank on his teacher. Okay, I get that expression. I don't know if I've ever seen my grandpa in such high spirits before. I was afraid he'd have a heart attack upon meeting Elizabeth, not least because of her outfit. I was way off the mark. He's taking this even better than I did. What about my grandma, though? My grandpa's story has opened a few questions. Namely, did you know about all this, Grandma? Well, of course I did. Kandaza and I were very well acquainted. You were? This I shouldn't be surprised. I still can't suppress disbelief. What's going on here? A lot of my family is in this whole demon summoning thing. My grandpa's always been a bit eccentric, so maybe I can accept you be into the mysticism or what have you. My grandma's always seemed like such a nice, kind, decidedly normal lady. She wears her hair in a bun, and she dresses in demure kimonos, and she spends most of her days brewing tea and knitting. For goodness sake! You couldn't find a more stereotypical, kindly grandma figure anywhere. Not outside the pages of fairy tales, I mean. Since when did she become bosom buddies with demons? Since 50 years ago, I guess. My grandpa introduced her to Kandaza. How could I not know Kandaza? Everyone in the village did. This is a small place after all, and talk soon spread. Shunsuke told the other villagers Kandaza was a relative of his, but he confided the truth to me. We've known one another since we were children. I suppose he felt like he could trust me. Between the two of us, I've always the most responsible one, and I like to think I'm good at keeping secrets too. Shizuke introduced Kandaza to me shortly after he summoned her. He told me that she was a demon, and that she wanted us to show her around the village, see some of the sights. Kandaza had never been to Japan before, and she was very intrigued by our culture and our customs. As fond as she was of Shizuke, I know she wanted a female friend too, one she could speak to me about more emotional matters. She was excited to be in Japan, of course, but she did get homesick during her stay. Homesick? My mother did? Oh yes, Kansa tried to act strong, but she was quite the sensitive soul. I think that's why she took such a shine to Makiko here. Elizabeth's brow furrows, which in a sense is almost reassuring. It's nice to know that I'm not the only one who's feeling lost. That doesn't sound very much like my mother. I never really thought of her as being sensitive. She's so confident and headstrong. Not all like me. I've always wished I could be more like her, in fact. I can't imagine her ever being shy or awkward. Maybe she changed after giving birth to you, dear. Being a parent can have a big impact upon a person's nature. We often come into our own. Or so I find, once we've another young life that's dependent on us for survival. Kandaza was quite the wildflower when I met her. This is more than 50 years ago. She was still a young girl herself then, about the same age as you are now. I think she must have been 18, maybe 19. I only just turned 18 myself. I believe Kandaza was a year or two older than me, but it's hard to keep track of things like ages when it comes to demons. Time does flow differently, after all, in the demon realm than it does here. Does it now? How very convenient. I was just pondering the practicalities of my grandpa's claims myself. If he hadn't Elizabeth's mother more than 50 years ago, well, his mother should have been age with my grandparents, old and wrinkly. Elizabeth's age clearly younger, young herself, though she doesn't really track. The timelines don't add up. If the time flows differently in the demon realm, though, this discrepancy can be explained. How old is your mother, Elizabeth? What? Elizabeth pouts. It's rude to ask a lady's age, Taiki. Didn't your own mother teach you better than that? But I guess that's true, but your mother isn't here. Besides, I'm not asking out any nefarious purposes. I'm just trying to figure out how all this works. Right now, things aren't fitting together too well. Oh, it isn't that complicated, really. Isn't it now? I guess after learning demons do in fact exist, nothing's all that complicated, really. It's like your grandfather said, time flows differently in the demon realm. It passes more slowly. 50 years might have passed between my mother's initial summoning to the human realm, from your perspective, but it's only been 20 or so to ours. My mother just turned 40. She doesn't look as old as wrinkly as your grandparents. No offense meant. None taken, dear. Her skin is very smooth, and she doesn't have any gray hairs. She turns a lot of heads, even now. Dad's always fussing that one of her many suitors will sweep her off her feet.
Oh yes, I can believe that. Condesa was quite the looker even back then, though she might have been the calmest to probably carry herself. She was such a retiring thing, though she was an awful sweetheart too. It's because of Condesa's influence, as a matter of fact, that my relationship with Shizuke deepened as it did.
It was?
Yes, indeed. I've always been fond of Shizuke, but I felt too awkward to confess to him. I was worried that it might ruin our friendship, for we had all been close, since we were young. I didn't want to risk making things awkward between us. That given Shizuke was a man who had told me something already if he cared for me. I know this sounds awfully old-fashioned, but back then, it was a custom for men to act first. It was indeed, but I was so immersed in my research, I failed to notice your feelings. It was awfully thoughtless of me, giving you hopes, only to dash them. I often wonder why you were so fond of a selfish, single-minded boy such as myself. I wondered that myself from time to time, but I suppose it was your passion that drew me to you, that and your determination. It didn't hurt either, I suppose, that you were so very handsome.
Were? My grandpa raised an eyebrow at this use of the past tense, though. Knowing my grandpa, but I don't think he's actually annoyed. I think he's just kidding around.
Are you saying I'm not handsome anymore, my dear Makiko?
Oh no, you're still incredibly so. You're handsome in a different way, however, than you were. Now I consider your looks distinguished. Back then, there was something very intense about you. You look just like an actor. I told Kadeza about my feelings, and she gave me the courage to confess. She told me, quite rightly so, I think, that if I continued to wait for Shizuke to make the first move, I would be disappointed. I still remember what she said to me. In fact, she told me that it was obvious that I cared for Shizuke, but it was not obvious to him. She said, and I quote, "If you want him to know how you feel, you have to tell him. He's so very dense, he'll never understand otherwise."
Dense, am I? That hurts.
Yes, you are, dear, about as dense as a brick. Even you must know that. I was so subconscious about telling you how I felt, but Kanza gave me the push I needed. If it wasn't for her prompting, I don't suppose the two of us would be together now, Shizuke, and you would be sitting here with us either, Taiki. We wouldn't have married, and wouldn't have had children. I certainly wouldn't have had any grandchildren. Kaneza might be a demon, but she bestowed upon me a great blessing. I'll forever be in her debt. She truly was, and still is, I presume, a wonderful woman. Huh, just when I thought I couldn't be hit by any more revelations, Grandma comes out with yet another bombshell. My existence, or so it seems, is inexorably linked to Elizabeth, or to be more precise, mother. Kaneza hadn't given my grandma the advice she needed, I wouldn't have existed, or Chiharu, or Nene, or Reza, for that matter. Our births were facilitated by a piece of advice given by a demon 50 years ago prior, who summoned to Japan after my grandpa found an ancient grimoire in a second-hand bookshop. Now I'm starting to get the chills. Is that what they call the butterfly effect? I had no idea the world was so very tenuous. It's going to take me a while to come to terms with all this. Given our past history with your mother, Elizabeth, and all that we owe her, I'd be more than happy to if you wanted to stay here. You'll always be welcome with us. I will? Is that really alright? Of course it is. It would be my pleasure. Here. I know you're still strangers, Elizabeth,
but you're like family to us. Yes, indeed, there must be a reason why. Of all demons Taiki could have summoned, you were the one he called for. I think this is fated to be. It must be destiny. This is the world's way of letting me repay Kaniza. Long last, with the great favor she bestowed upon us. I couldn't dream of sending you away. Couldn't you? No? I sigh. And all I wanted was a nice, normal summer vacation. Looks like this humble dream of mine has been well and truly shot to pieces. I doubt I'll get any rest with Elizabeth around. I guess this is my fault in part for being stupid enough to summon a demon in the first place. But, jeez. I had no idea what I was getting myself in for. If I go back in time, I reach that stupid book out of Nini's hand and slide it back on the shelf where it belongs. But it's too late for regrets now. I made this bed. Now I've got to lie in it. Hooray for me! Not. What a day. I sit on the veranda of my grandparents' home, flapping the bottom of my shirt restlessly to better ventilate my sweaty skin. Hours starting to wear on, but still pretty light out, given it's middle of August, but I don't think the sun will set for another couple of hours. My grandma's already making a start on dinner. I feel like I ought to get off my ass and help her. I think she's had a busy day. It's not like anyone else can volunteer. I'm definitely the best at cooking when it comes to my siblings. Charlie never bothered learning how. She's worried she'll chip her fingernails. Though Nenny's pretty enthusiastic, she has a tendency to, emulate everything. Reza, meanwhile, is only a kid. Can't really be trusted with a kitchen knife. I've been helping my mother prepare our meals since I was Nenny's age. And I think I'm pretty good at it. I don't treat cooking like a chore, but it's something we enjoy. It's pretty fun seeing a meal come together. And I even enjoy the repetitiveness of peeling potatoes and carrots. It's soothing. I can't say I care for the cutting onions all that much. But then again, does anybody? Any masochists? I don't think I fall into that camp though. I feel kind of badly my grandma to cook for all 6 of us. Well, I guess 7 now, factoring Elizabeth. But I'm too tired to move. Today's events have really taken it out of me. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that demons exist. And that I, inadvertently, summon one. Chiharu, Nene, and Reza already seem to have come to terms with things. Nene and Reza more enthusiastically than Chiharu. This is really insane. What do I do if Elizabeth tries to steal my soul? Do I have any guarantees that she won't? Elizabeth doesn't seem like the soul-stealing sort. You never tell when it comes to demons. The word demon doesn't invite all that much confidence. It makes you think of flesh-eating monsters with sharp, pointing teeth. Elizabeth might look like a cute girl, plus a few extra adornments, but I don't know enough about her to trust her. My grandparents were accepting her enough. I feel a little less fair about the whole situation. It's easy for my grandpa to laugh about this. He's not the one who summoned her. His fate isn't entwined with Elizabeth. Mine is. What does she want from me exactly? Does she want anything? Or to enjoy herself? I wonder. I'm partner staring aimlessly up at the azure sky. When... Hey, Taiki! Guess who? Oh, please, don't insult my intelligence like that, as if I need to guess. This is easy. Is that you, Elizabeth? That's right, it is me. But doesn't Elizabeth sound too stuffy? It'd be much easier if you call me pronounce that? Elise? Alice? Alyssa? Alyssa. Yeah, we'll go with Alyssa.
It'd be much easier if you called me Alyssa. It's a shorter name, and it's much cuter.
A smiling Elizabeth takes a seat beside me on the veranda. She doesn't ask if this is alright, or if it's a bad time, or if I want to chat, but me and the concept of common courtesy doesn't exist in the demon realm. It doesn't sound very demonic somehow, having a desert from hell. Is that where demons reside? Minding their P's and Q's.
So peaceful out here. The weather is nice, isn't it?
So, an actual demon from actual hell. Is she from hell? I'm not wholly sure on that score. Wants to talk to me about the weather. I thought you might have more interesting arsenal topics to talk about, like sacrificing humans, maybe, or bloodletting, but this is pretty banal.
Yawn.
Well, I can't just stare at her. I gotta say something. I guess it's pretty nice.
Yeah?
Ghostless says, well, the demon girl does look cute.
She looks precious. Is it always this sunny in the human realm?
If I was a member of my normal family, Elizabeth's talk about the human realm might throw me. Since Nen is always gushing about being the dark one, however, I think I could take this in my stride.
Hi, Carsling. Good to see you. Blah.
No, it's not always sunny. It can get pretty cold in the winter. So apparently, yeah, our protagonist, Taiki, he accidentally summoned this lovely lady, Elizabeth, but we're gonna call her Alyssa. She wants to be called Alyssa. And she wants to, like, stay. Because, yeah, it's very rare for her kind to visit, I don't know, the human world. No, it's always sunny. It can get pretty cold in the winter.
Ah, I see.
Elizabeth switches her legs to and fro, her hands resting upon her lap.
I wouldn't know. I've not been to the human realm before. It's all very new to me. I must say, though, that I am enjoying it. The sky is so blue, and the air smells so sweet. It's not like all back home.
Yeah, well, glad I hear it. I rub the back of my neck, then frown. I heard there are more important things to discuss than the weather. Should be having a proper conversation, damn it. It's more important to do research before buying a new pet, like a dog or a cat. And I imagine there's even more info to hash out when it comes to summoning demons. I want to make sure I've not gotten myself caught up in anything shady. Hey, Elizabeth.
I prefer Alyssa, like I said. But, yes? What is it, Taiki?
How does this all work exactly?
All this... what?
You know, the whole summoning thing. I'm the one who brought you here. Does that make me responsible for you?
Ah, yes, I suppose it does. You are my summoner, after all.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Though, I wish I didn't. So, what does being your summoner involve? What's my role in your relationship? I try to keep my voice calm, but my heart flutters a little at the final word. I never had a relationship with a girl before. Beyond my mother and my sisters. Well, that's not for lack of trying. I asked a girl I had a crush on back in high school, but I was swiftly rejected. After that, I stopped trying. Sting rejection hurt too much. Spending time with the opposite sex like this is a mystery to me. And again, my sisters don't count.
Our relationship. It's not that complicated. You don't need to keep it out of me 24/7. I'm an adult, and I can look after myself.
You're an adult? I mean, I figure, with a figure, but it never hurts to ask. How old are you in Earth years exactly?
Let me see. It's a bit hard for me to gauge, but I think if I were to convert it, I'd be 21.
So she's a little older than me. She's old enough to drink too. I know it's silly for some reason. This makes my pride sting. But only for a few moments. I'm not one of those guys who gets super hung up about small details like this. That seems like a pretty poor way to live life.
My calculations might be a little off though. I'm not the best at math. I am a grown woman though, no matter how you slice it. I only need you to look out for me. You can trust me to behave myself. Only real duty is replenishing my magical energy.
Magical energy? Elizabeth nods.
I was summoning your energy, weak though it is. You must have an inherent knack for magic, but you need some training. I guess your grandfather must have passed that on to you.
Your summoning ritual
wasn't perfect though. You're a novice, and your magic, like I said, leaves a little to be desired. If you don't top me up, I won't be able to remain tethered to the human realm and be forced to go back home. I'd like to stay here for a few days, at the very least, so I'm counting on you to keep me well fed, Master. But please don't call me Master. Summer was embarrassing enough, but Master. Yeah, Master is way too much for right now. I'm not about to open up to a maid cafe here. Neither am I about to participate in a Holy Grail war.
And how am I supposed to feed you with my magical energy? I'm guessing making a sandwich won't do much good.
No, I don't mean feeding in a physical sense.
Yeah, I thought as much. That'd be too easy. Elizabeth doesn't mean to sup up my life force, does she? Well, she wants to drain my life, my youth, my vitality. Elizabeth says that she's a demon, but her skinny outfit puts me in the mind of a succubus. I'm starting to fret that her designs upon me might be less chaste than her cheery attitude suggests. I wouldn't be exactly opposed to the idea of letting her drain my mana, so to speak. I mean, she is hot, but I hardly know her. We're still strangers. It's all going too fast. Maybe I should ask for a timeout. Or an intervention from Joe. I know I'm an adult, but this is straying into a realm a little too adult for me to deal with. I'm starting to get all flustered when Elizabeth speaks up.
I just need a sight of a few of your dreams to remain healthy. That's all.
You eat dreams?
Yes, or, well...
Elizabeth smiles sheepishly.
Not usually. I don't need to when I'm in the demon realm, but it's hard to keep myself manifested in the human world. Most humans don't believe in demons. The weight of this combined disbelief makes it hard to anchor myself in reality. Every single second I spend here is difficult, given my existence is being continually denied. It's a bit painful, actually. But don't worry.
I wasn't. Oh, well, maybe I was a little bit. It's not I'm going to admit to that. That would be embarrassing.
Dummy. Dreams of humans can act as a source of energy for me. They're very nutritious, so they should replenish my stamina. I don't need to eat your dreams to stay healthy though. Your thoughts would do as well, even more potent, but that might put you in danger. How so? I'm gonna end up amnesiac, would I? You could, if I took too many of your thoughts from you. You could easily wind up forgetting all your fondest, most memorable moments, in your very sense of self. I don't want to leave you brain dead. It'd be a poor way to repay for summoning me, so sticking to your dreams sounds like the best option. How does that work? Eat dreams. Is it like a dream people have and then they just forget about it? Like they wake up? Well, maybe that's what happens. Some people have dreams and when they wake up they're like, I can remember bits and pieces of it, but not the finer details. Maybe it's demons siphoning the dreams in the demon world. Would you be alright with that? Well, if it's a choice between that and becoming an empty husk, I don't think I have any other option here. One of these branches very, very clearly lead to a bad ending. I guess I should thank Elizabeth for earmarking that for me. It should save me a lot of suffering. I guess that's fine. You can eat my dreams. It's not that they're particularly interesting though. I never remember them when I wake up. Wonderful. Thank you, Taiki. Don't mention it. It's fine. But I want to mention it. It was very kind of you to summon me here. I've always wanted to see the human realm. You're the best. He is forever and ever hers, whether you admit it or not. A beamy Elizabeth takes this opportunity to throw herself at me. Arms wind tightly about my middle, so tightly I can hardly breathe, and her chest pushes up against my back. I knew his chest was large, but damn! I had no idea it was this soft. It feels like I'm in heaven. The sensation is good. It's dangerously good. I could get addicted to this. Crap. Don't Elizabeth know what she's doing to me. She's not spent much time around human men, so I guess she doesn't know how intensely we can feel things, especially when tits are involved. This keeps up. I'm so glad I meet you, Taiki. Let's be best friends, alright? I want to have lots and lots of fun together. Yeah, sure. We can have fun, but my voice is starting to break. Am I a teenager? I mean, yes, I am, but 13 here. Not freaking 19, going on 20. I should be better at controlling myself then. But please, don't say misleading lines like that when you're smushing your boobs against my back. What? Is there a problem with what I'm doing? Yeah, there is. There's a pretty big problem, actually. And it's gonna get even bigger if Elizabeth doesn't learn the meaning of personal space. Maybe I don't have that in the demon realm. It'd be do me a heck of a lot of good right now. After this display of affection, I'm seriously starting to worry that my dreams tonight will be a bit of salacious bent. Then, what will Elizabeth think of me? This really is a nightmare. It's late at night. My little brother's already fast asleep. The soft snores fill my bedroom in a regular, almost melodic manner. I'm not used to sleeping in the same room as my siblings. My parents are pretty well off, and our house is large enough that we have our own rooms.
That isn't the case at my grandparents' place, however. My grandparents might live all the way out in the countryside, surrounded by the sprawl of nature, but their house is even smaller than my parents' out in Tokyo. My grandparents aren't particularly wealthy, and while their home's cozy enough, it's pretty old-fashioned, all tatami floors and wooden support beams. It only has 2 actual bedrooms too, one for them and one for guests. They don't need much more space than that. Chiharu and Nene got the actual guest room. Reza and I are stuck in the old storage room. We might be siblings, but it's not like guys can hunker down with the girls. There wouldn't be enough room for one. For another, I don't want to be anywhere near Chiharu when she's getting changed into pajamas. I doubt Chiharu will want that all that much either, given how up she gets when I commit the heinous crimes all keep past in the morning before she's applied her makeup. If it bars her that much to be seen with her face unfinished, she should just stay in her room until she applied all her war paint. I probably have an easier time trying to memorize the Heart Sutra than I would try to understand Chiharu. Well, whatever. Not really I care what my sisters think. I guess most of my time anyway, based on her permanently pissed off expression. But, back to my current sleeping arrangements. My grandparents aired the storage room out before Riza and I arrived, and they laid down futons to make it more comfortable. But his room has the most distinct auras of disuse about regardless. There's a bunch of old creaking bookshelves arranged in the corners, populated with my grandpa's old detective novels. The covers are stuffed with bits of tat my grandparents no longer use. I found a broken down vacuum cleaner when Reza and I first moved here during a cursory search alongside an old landline from the 80s and a razor for the kotatsu. It's kind of like Aladdin's cave in these cupboards. The treasure in said cave was all useless junk. It's clear that it is in the room which is meant for human habitation. It's nothing more than a convenient place to stash junk, which makes it hard for me to get comfy. Feels like I don't belong. Sleeping on a futon is pretty novel too. I had a bed back at my parents' place. I'm used to my soft mattress and my pillows. I can't say I like this arrangement too much. But it doesn't seem to be bother Risa. He passed the moment his head hit the pillow. Kinda jealous of him actually. I wish I could fall asleep. Well, fall half asleep, heck, even a quarter, as easily. Since Riza's still a little kid, he has a tendency to play up a bit too hard during the day. He wears out pretty quickly, but he passes out no problem. Ooh, what I wouldn't give to be a kid again. They don't have any worries, rattling around in their little heads, apart from the summer homework, mainly which is dead easy. My university work's much more demanding. Though, I guess it would be, given I am 19 years old. I can't complain about nothing. I should probably count myself lucky in any case that Elizabeth's hunkering down with Charo and Nene for the night. I find it awkward enough sleeping in the same room with my younger sisters. It'd be especially awkward sleeping alongside a busty demon girl who I barely know, who is, I don't know if I mentioned this before, incredibly well endowed. I mean, geez, the size of those things. Can't stop thinking about them. I groan out loud and turn over my futon in an attempt to get comfortable. That's really recover. I still can't nod off. It took us to what Elizabeth had told me earlier. She said that to stay in the human realm, she'll have to eat my dreams. Does that mean she'll be eating my dreams tonight? She'll be able to see all my nighttime musings. What she learns about the unconscious desires that not even I know I possess. That seems a little too intimate, and we only just met. Well, there's one desire I know I have. which is definitely not unconscious. But I'm not gonna spell it out, not even in my own head, with Rissa present. That feel like crossing some sort of boundary. No, I'm absolutely not going to think about Elizabeth's chest. Not like I care at all.
Really?
I'm not gonna dream about it either. I can't afford to dream about it. I'm so worked about this, in fact, that I scarcely dream at all that night. Largely because I scarcely sleep. As tired as I am, I can't bring myself to do it. This all feels too awkward. I was worried when I first saw Elizabeth. She might cast some evil, demonic hex on me. What I'm suffering from right now is way more mundane. I'm really gonna die of sleep deprivation. That'd be pretty lame, given I survived an encounter with a demon. But hey, why don't you try sleeping under these circumstances? It's not that easy, let me tell you. Nothing in this world is. I had grown for about the 1 millionth time, approximately. I could tell that tomorrow's gonna be awful.
Day 2. It's time for a change. Alyssa updates her wardrobe.
I'm not able to actually fall asleep until around 3 or so. When I do pass, however, I don't have any particularly shameful dreams, at least to my knowledge. When I do wake up, it's around 7. I'm running out of precious sleep time, and I feel horribly groggy, but I force my body into wakefulness regardless. Someone needs to ensure that Reza brushes his teeth and combs his hair. He's a pretty trustworthy kid, but he still needs me to keep an eye on him. I get dressed, then rouse Reza and march into the bathroom to oversee his routine. Once I'm satisfied his teeth are sparkling, I'm a real sticker for that kind of thing. I can't count the number of times that he's told me, "You're no fun." I help him wash his face, then towel him dry, and get him changed. With the both of us, more or less, ready to face the day, he then traipses over to the dining room. Rest and I are lit up as it transpires, and the table's already set for breakfast. My family all sitting around the table, waiting. My grandparents are there, and so is Chiharu, and Nene, and... of course, she's there too. And she's wearing the same outfit she wore yesterday. Could her clothes cover any less? Don't answer that. I'm sure they could. She's almost like she's trying to make me uncomfortable. Taiki, isn't it possible that that's just their fashion in the demon world, and they don't have those kind of hang-ups? I greet my family with the most neutral, congenial tones that I can manage, trying, all the while, not to gawp at Elizabeth. I take my place at the table, Ressa following me obediently, and thank my grandparents for the cooking. Then, I begin to eat. I eat quickly, without tasting it, and the whole start rising from the table as soon as possible. The air feels pretty thick. You could cut it with a knife. I don't know if I'm in the mood to spend too much time with Elizabeth. I don't know what I dreamed last night, or even if I dreamed. I don't know if she knows about it. Uncertainty's discomforting. Just ask her. I finished eating in double quick time. I'm about to rise from the table. I can't stand how awkward everything feels. When... Hey, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have a problem. You do? Yes, we do, and it's a big one. I never guessed. This sounds rather serious. What is it, Chiharu? Chiharu frowns. She does not look like a happy bunny. She's only about half her salmon, and she's left a lot of rice and miso soup. I guess she's like me, isn't really feeling today's breakfast. Something's definitely playing on her mind. What could that be? Is this about breakfast, dear? It's something not to your liking. You barely eat any of it. No, it's not. This is about our new guest.
Do you mean me?
Well, that's what I mean. You're the only guest here, aren't you?
I suppose I am, but... I'm trying to behave myself, but I don't fully understand the customs of you humans. I hope I've not done anything too horribly offensive.
No, you haven't. Not deliberately, at least. I'm afraid you might be causing 1 or 2 problems just by being here, though.
By being here?
Indeed. You should be aware of this already. I can't believe I had to spell this out for you, but I think you might be a bit too stimulating for my older brother to handle. My fingers instantly curl against the side of my table.
My face, meanwhile, it turned scarlet.
Don't tell me. I didn't actually have a bunch of inappropriate dreams about Elizabeth last night, did I? Elizabeth ate my dreams, as she said she would. She might have learned about them. And she learned about them. Who's to say she didn't tell Chiharu about them? I imagine the sweetly smiling Elizabeth telling Chiharu about my deviant fixation on her. Is this normal behavior for a human male? And my blood runs cold.
This is bad.
This is very, very bad.
I have half a mind to ask Chiharu if she can come with me,
so I can talk about my raging libido in private. There's no way we can discuss this in front of Rissa, but I don't have the time. Chiharu tucks a strand of her perfectly straight hair behind her ear and says, "The problem is your outfit, Elizabeth. It's too revealing." Ah, so that's what Chiharu was getting at, is it? It's a relief that she doesn't know about the full extent of my feelings. I feel like I can relax, though this lasts only for a few minutes.
Go back, guidance.
My poor, stupid brother can't stop gawping at you, though he's trying not to. It's quite aggravating, actually.
It's not that obvious, is it?
It's very noticeable. You're the most tactful person in the world, though. You like to think you are. She is right about that. Dallas have been making eyes at Liza ever since she arrived. This dark one is surprised she had told you not to knock it off already. Pervert. If I were her, I would have used the magic bestowed upon me by the Dark Lord to usher upon you, unworthy head, a rain of fire and brimstone. That is the only punishment a moral men like you deserve. What's a pervert? I'm glad thou asked, my adorable little young brother. A pervert is.
Alright. I give Nene's forehead a flick.
That's quite enough out of you.
Owie.
Nene whimpers, her red eyes, their contacts of course, filling with tears. Why'd you do that, Taiki? Because you were being inappropriate. And you keep staring at Alyssa's boobs, even though she's only showing a bit of cleavage. So who's the real bad guy here?
I've not been staring. I've just been...
checking out the goods.
No, I just...
Oh, never mind. This is ridiculous. Can we not talk about my taste in front of Rissa, please? Or in front of our grandparents for that matter? I mean, geez. Nana herself is only 13, and she should be talking about this sort of thing either. Even she has devoted a fair bit of time to reading, though, through my forbidden magazines. Does this girl know no shame? Says she wears red contacts, bleaches her hair, and constantly talks about having magical powers. I say no, but a bit of optimism never hurt anybody. Chiharu's right though. Elizabeth's outfit is distracting. She can hardly go outside like that. People stare at her. More than you mean?
Can it, Nene? We're not talking about me right now.
I give my problematic little sister a nerve flick. She makes her yelp again.
Ah, hey, Chi, Taiki's being mean to me.
Yes, and? I should you stick up for me. We're both sisters. We should be in this together. We might be sisters, but I'm no obligation to defend you from all life's ills. And in any event, you brought this upon yourself. So stop being so immature. There are some topics you should really discuss it for Arisa. Not so brazenly, at least.
See?
Even Chiharu agrees with me. You're taking things too far. And you, mister. Chiharu's eyes, zeroing on mine, are the cause of all this. You're in no position to act all high and mighty. Elizabeth isn't a piece of meat. Please don't drool when you're looking at her.
I don't drool.
You're as good as. Goodness me, you youngsters sure sound like you're having fun. It's not been this lively in quite some time.
I think it's a bit too lively.
I concur.
For all Chiharu likes to lecture me, she's not such a bad egg.
We find ourselves in agreement more often than not. And though Chiharu can be pretty prissy, she's least sensible. That's where that could be said for Nene. I don't want to turn this into debate, but I do think we need to get you some new clothes, Elizabeth. That should be our top priority. If you want to go outside, you need to dress in a manner that will draw less attention. You don't want to stand out too much, do you?
No, I want to have fun during my stay in Japan. But I definitely I don't want to cause a scene. I hate to inconvenience you.
That might be impossible, even putting aside Elizabeth's outfit. Her horns, her wings, and her tails aren't going to be magically disappear unless she can. Well, use magic. I'll have to ask her about that later. These unexpected additions sure are to cause a scene out among the general public, but I think buying Elizabeth some new clothes should help. I'm not sure all about the leather. She looks like she just stepped off the set of some dubious adult movie. And the gloves and the fishnets aren't really helping. Their new outfit is a must-have. You don't happen to have any spare clothes with you, do you?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't think to bring any with me. I didn't know I was going to be summoned. It was all very last minute.
Yeah, I get that. Use your magic to alter your outfit then. You're a demon, so I'm presuming something like that might be possible. Oh yes! Why didn't you show us your demonic powers, Alyssa? This dark one would love to bear witness to such a spectacle.
Well, I could use my magic to alter my appearance. It is true. I'm not particularly talented at the art. Even very simple spells use a lot of my stamina. If I run out of energy, I'll have to return to the demon realm. I want to enjoy my time in Japan for as much as possible, which is I ought to keep my magic to a minimum. I don't want to use it on frivolous things like my appearance.
Ah,
Nene pounds. Phooey.
Now, why are you so disappointed? You saw Elizabeth being summoned only yesterday. Wasn't that cool enough to keep you entertained? It was cool, yes, but this dark one is hoping to see even more wicked diabolical magic. It's even every day you summon a demon. It seems the way she won't even do few simple spells.
I'm very sorry to disappoint you. As far as demons go, I'm not all that impressive. My mother is much more powerful than I am. I've always been a bit of a dunce by comparison. I'm sorry you got saddled with such a useless demon like me.
Don't apologize, dear. For one, I'm glad to have you around the house.
You are?
Of course. I think you're very sweet. Now, would you like some more green tea?
Oh, yes, please.
My grandma leans across the table and begins to refill Elizabeth's cup. While my grandma pours steam exuding from the spout of the teapot, my grandpa smiles indulgently. Don't compare yourself to your mother, Elizabeth. Kanasa isn't a commonly powerful demon. I doubt you want you to worry about measuring up to her. If I know anything, it's that parents love their children regardless of their accomplishments.
Yes, indeed. Any feat, no matter how small, is a cause for celebration.
Don't let yourself be so browbeaten. You need more confidence.
You guys...
Elizabeth sniffles, her eyes full of grateful tears.
Thank you for being so nice to me.
Think nothing of it. It's only natural I want to be nice to Candace's daughter. I think very highly of her, after all.
Kindness begets kindness. This is how the world ought to be. And the demon world too. Now, do try to cheer up.
This scene is pretty touching. I gotta admit, we're not any closer to addressing any of Chiharu's concerns.
Namely, that Elizabeth outfit shows quite a lot of skin.
Her outfit would be fine if she was going to a nightclub, I guess. Cause problems for daily wear. I can't imagine it'd be comfortable for Elizabeth either. Being stuck in the same outfit for days on end. Having a few change the clothes would be to her benefit too. I wonder... Hey, Chiharu, do you think Elizabeth could borrow some of your clothes? Well, yes. Excellent idea, Taiki. That's a perfect solution to our problem. At least, it would be, if my bill was at, like, Elizabeth's. Do you really think she'd fit into my shirts and blouses? Yeah, Taiki, you dunce. Elizabeth's chest is massive, like on a planetary scale. She's even bigger than those models in those shameless magazines you own. How's she gonna fit her sweater puppies in poor, dear cheese clothes? She's nowhere near that big. Are you trying to hurt her feelings? You're so inconsiderate. Says you. This time, it's Chiharu's turn to flick Nene. She must have used more force than I did, because Nene's reluctant cry of pain shriller than anything I've heard from her lips since Elizabeth's summoning yesterday. Nene shrieks so loudly, in fact, that Reza jumps and asks her shyly if she's alright. Yes, I'm fine. Nene grits her teeth together. This Dark One will not succumb to injuries of the flesh so very easily. I'm too exalted. My powers are strong enough to sustain. But seriously. Nene's character begins to break alongside her voice as she cries. Why'd you do that, Chi? I thought you were supposed to be the mature one. I am the mature one. There are some things you ought to say to a lady, though, no matter what. Mind your matters. What? But Chi, I'm a lady too. Hardly. Now to business. Yes, what's the plan, General? Since Elizabeth can't change her clothes of her own outfit of her own volition, my clothes won't fit her. We'll need to go on a shopping trip. Do you still want to go outside and explore, Elizabeth?
Yes, I do. I want that more than anything.
Then let's head out. I want to pick up a new summer dress for myself. In any event, this should work out nicely. We could take the bus to the nearest town, and then we could try and look for a few appropriate pieces. What do you think about that? Nobody offers any opposition to Chiharu's plan. Nobody apart from Nene. That is, who objects on the grounds that Elizabeth's current outfit is really cool. Her protests go a little like this. I don't want Chi to dress you up, Alyssa. She turns you into a boring normie. She'll make you wear beige. You're a demon, so you should stand out a bit more. You don't want to look like everybody else, do you? Or so Nene said. Her complaints were summarily described, however, because they were impractical. I think even my crappers, laissez-faire though they are, have realized Elizabeth can't wander streets dressed as she is. She stands out too much. We'll have to go clothes shopping, but this proves to be something of a production. My grandparents' village is so small and out of the way, it only boasts a handful of stores. A convenience store, an old-timey sweet store, and a grocer's. That's really all the village has to offer in the way of retail. All the clothes stores are in the next town over, which is about 40 minutes away via bike, and half hour via bus. I don't mind cycling. I'm not bad at it, but Chihara would turn the idea down flat. She hates any form of exercise, but cycling is a particular bugbear of hers, given how badly it tends to fuss up her immaculate hair. I didn't spend half an hour straightening and pinning my hair this morning to make a total mess of it. Besides, we didn't bring our own bikes. We have to borrow our grandparents'. And what would Elizabeth do then? Can't make her run along beside us. This was a fair enough objection, one I couldn't overrule. I think Chihara was hoping Grandpa offered to give us a lift, but I think he's tired. After yesterday's excitement, he said he'd rather stay indoors. My grandmother, meanwhile, can't drive at all. She never learned how. And while I've been taking lessons myself, I haven't passed my practical test yet. And even if I could try, which I can't, I wouldn't be insured to drive my grandpa's old van anyway. By a process of elimination, that means the only way to go on a little trip is to take the bus. Nana did tag along with us on a shopping trip. Doesn't like clothes shopping in general. She thinks it's a waste of time, and she particularly dislikes clothes shopping with Chihara. Nana and Chihara have very different fashion tastes, and Nana always turns her nose up at the cute, sweet, sensible things Chihara tries to force on her. Since Nana was pretty firmly in the club, Elizabeth looks fine the way she is. She's also taken offense at our shopping trip on principle. Ressa stayed behind too, since he's a little kid, with approximately zero interest in clothes. Besides, I feel bad hauling in between department stores all day, and I think you get pretty tired pretty quickly. I'm not sure if leaving him with Nene is a good idea, but our grandparents will be there to keep an eye on things. Everything will be fine, right? Right? I hope so. I inhale the scent of freshly mown grass in my nostrils and glance about my surroundings. It's pleasant enough. Hot, but not too hot. I don't feel particularly sweaty, which is a boon. It's a gentle breeze, which rocks the tall grass in the fields which surround us. Leaves on nearby trees swish, while clouds scud along lazy above our heads. It's nice out in the sticks, but it's also freaking inconvenient. I exhale a warm breath into the warmer breeze and lean back on the wooden bench of the local bus stop. This bench and the bus stop are relics from an ancient time. Nails stick out uncomfortably between the roughly hewn planks of wood when I'm digging into my thigh. This is the most comfortable way to wait for a bus. When is it going to get here? Each timetable displayed by the side of the bus station says our bus should arrive at 10:30. A quick look at my phone says it's 9:50. We still have 40 minutes left to wait. What a pain. Tokyo, the wait times between trains and buses tend to be around 50 minutes at the absolute maximum, and usually arrive even quicker than that. Guess I got too accustomed to how convenient life in the city is. This feels almost torturous. What am I going to do to pass the time? I could scroll through my phone, I guess. It's not like there's anything at all that interesting going on. I could make conversation with Chiharu, but... Nope. That's a no-go. Chiharu was staring at her own phone, her nearly manicured fingers dashing madly across the keyboard. There's a look of intense concentration on her face, and her eyes are narrowed. She must be deep in conversation with someone, though who said somebody is, I have no idea. Maybe she's texting one of her girlfriends. Chiharu has a lot of friends. She's very popular. I don't want to distract her, so I glance over at Elizabeth instead. Elizabeth is humming to herself, her hands resting on her laps, her legs swaying to and fro. I don't recognize the tune. Maybe it's some hit song from the Demon Realm. Do they have idols in the Demon Realm? I have no idea. Since Elizabeth's normal clothes aren't really suitable for walking around in, Grandpa gave her one of his old shirts to throw over her demonic attire. She's wearing this white button-up shirt, which is several sizes too big for her, so it bunches around the wrists and arms. But even then, it strains against her chest. I wonder if Chiharu, with all her fashion expertise, would find any clothes that fit Elizabeth's physique. I already find losing battle here. I hope our trip won't be for nothing. I sigh again, which attracts Elizabeth's attention. Not Chiharu's. She's too transfixed on her phone. Are you alright, Taiki? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Don't fuss about it. Are you sure? You look rather weary. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. This has been a lot to swallow, you know? What has? The whole being a demon thing. You make quite the impression. Oh, really? I suppose I'm glad to hear it. I hope if I'm not making things too difficult for you, though. Nah, you haven't. It's fine. You can't help being who you are. I just need some time to get used to having you around. This is a me problem. But I checked the time on my phone again. It's not even 10 yet. Curses. And I groan. Ghost would say he's a very lucky guy. I wish the bus hurried up. I feel like we've been waiting ages already. Are you getting bored? Maybe a little. Aren't you? Not at all. This is all new to me, so it's very exciting. It's very pretty around here. It's also green. Can't see how anybody could get bored of a view like this. You've no idea how lucky you are, Taiki. I don't feel that lucky right now. Not with a nail digging to my thigh. You're comfortable. Elizabeth tears her gaze away from her surroundings to glance at me, blinking. Would you like to trade places? No, it's fine. I could deal with that. I appreciate Elizabeth's concern, but making a pretty girl sit on a rusty old nail doesn't sound like a very gentlemanly thing to do. Not even if I said pretty girl is a demon. So Elizabeth's a demon, I doubt she's been vaccinated against our common earthly ailments. Mumps, measles, and more pressingly, tetanus. I wouldn't want her to get sick. It would have been nice if we could cycle though. They're much quicker. Ah yes, I too. I'm curious about cycling. I would love to try it myself sometime. You would? I would, indeed. I know your grandparents only have 2 bikes, but
I thought maybe I could ride on the back of yours. I know it's possible. I read about it in romance stories. Since when do demons read romance stories? Oh, I have my ways.
Elizabeth smiles coyly.
I'd love to ride on a bike with you and wind my arms around your back. That's what being young is all about.
Probably, I think that if Elizabeth were to get close and personal with me, it'd be more than arms, and I'd be able to feel about my back.
That might be quite nice, actually.
But I'm afraid if such a situation did happen, I'd be so distracted by Elizabeth's closeness, I wouldn't be able to steer the bike. I can already foresee myself losing control and falling down a gorge. It's pretty around here. Pretty hilly around here, and any small slip up could be potentially perilous. I'm sorry, but I'll have to veto that idea. You're not supposed to ride a pillion when it comes to cycling. It's illegal.
It is?
It is, yes.
What? But it's such a common scenario in romance stories. The girl always rides on the back of the guy's bike beneath the setting sun and never fails to make my heart flutter.
It's a common scenario in stories, yeah, but you're forgetting that we live in the real world. You get fined if you get caught, and I don't think I trust my bird to bear both of you on those twiggy legs of his either.
Hey! I do not have twiggy legs. Twigs. Yes, you do. And you have no stamina either.
I bet you sweat out half your bodily fluids if you try to cycle with Elizabeth on your back. And that doesn't sound at all romantic to me. You'd be better off abandoning this fantasy, Elizabeth. Our brother's in no fit state to make it come true. You might be right. We don't need to say it like that. Haven't you heard being tactful? Why should I be tactful towards you? We're siblings. That's exactly what I mean. We're siblings. Just try to be a little nicer to me. I don't see the point. You have to love me no matter what I say. Isn't that how family works? I think you have it twisted, Chiharu. Let's say that I'm looking out for you, then, as your concerned younger sister. How does that sound?
It sounds sweet enough, I guess.
If that wasn't coming off the back of you calling my legs twiggy, then then insulting my stamina. I just don't want Elizabeth to get her hopes up. When it comes to you, Taiki, I think it'd be better if she temper her expectations accordingly.
What do you mean, when it comes to me?
You know what I mean.
No, I don't. Please elaborate.
Charo and I begin to bicker pointlessly, while Elizabeth watches. A small smile begins to tug at Elizabeth's lips, and then she starts to giggle. Now, that's a curious reaction.
What's so funny? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking.
It's nice that you get along so well.
You think we do?
Don't you? Elizabeth blinks.
I think you must if you argue like that. It's obvious that you're close. It's enough to make me feel jealous. I never had any brothers or sisters to play with, or to talk to. But if I did, I'd like if we could be as close as you and Chiharu are. I consider myself very fortunate indeed then.
An hour later.
Oh my gosh! This place is amazing! It's even better than I thought it'd be. Human realm is incredible.
Elizabeth stands, head tilted and her eyes wide, in the middle of the street. I've been to this town dozens of times before. It's nothing new to me. And even if it was, I wouldn't be impressed. This place is in Pachon, Tokyo. Elizabeth, however, has never been to Tokyo. There's a lot of places she's not been. In fact, she's a total newbie when it comes to the human realm, which might explain her enthusiasm. This town is a lot more built up than my grandparents' place. I don't begrudge her for being excited, but I wish she could learn to keep her voice down. I'm gonna attract all unwanted attention if this keeps up.
Hey, Mommy, what's with that funny lady? Why is she shouting?
Pay her no heed, dear. She's probably a tourist. And let's get going. It isn't polite to stare. I guess it's too late for that. Clearly, Elizabeth's never heard of restraint. Hey, I think you're getting too carried away. This town's nothing that special. Please, don't call this place the human realm. It sounds weird.
What? But why? This is the human realm. If I can call it that, I don't know what else I can call it.
It might be the human realm to you, but everywhere else, it's the only realm. Most people don't know even demons exist. You don't want to cause public commotion, do you?
No, I suppose not. Hallelujah! She finally gets it. But Taiki, look! The pastries in the world are so cute. They're just like tiny little fish. I really want to try one really badly. Ooh, I've also tried a hamburger, too. And I wouldn't say no to an ice cream. And there are so many delicious mouth-watering treats. I want to try them all.
So much for Elizabeth getting it. I guess. Doesn't get it at all.
Please, God, Satan, and Cthulhu, give me strength.
Elizabeth, wait! I call after her to little though. She's not listening. Seems to be a lot if she wouldn't insist on darting around like a minnow. Then again, I think she'd attract attention if she wasn't acting like a woman possessed. Elizabeth wearing my grandpa's old shirt, which goes way to hiding just how skimpy and skin-tight her demon attire is. Her horns, her wings, and her tail remain as prominent as ever. She had to cut holes in the back of Grandpa's shirt, actually, so her bat-like wings could poke through the fabric. Otherwise, they would have shaved. Since Elizabeth's a demon and all, I figured she could at least use her dark magic to hide her more noticeable human attributes. But she refused to do that. She said even small cosmetic changes like this would take too much of a toll upon her. I guess it doesn't really matter how Elizabeth acts, in her ostentatious appearance. She'd be bound to attract attention regardless. But still. Could you not run around like a hyperactive 5-year-old? Not even resist this bad.
I can't help but be excited though. This place is nothing like anything I've ever seen. There's so many big buildings and so many people. It's so high I can't stand still. Not even for a second.
Well, I could see that. I pinched the bridge of my nose between my thumb and forefinger, then give it a squeeze. I started to feel like a preschool teacher, left in charge of a class of overly energetic 3-year-olds. Elizabeth might be one woman, but I swear she's enough energy for 30 people. Look, Elizabeth, I get it. You might have to try and cool it. You stand out enough as it is, without making it worse. Can't you see that their people are staring?
They are?
Yes, they are. Look over there. And there. I gestured vaguely about the street at the pedestrians milling by. Since it's such a pleasant day, the street is pretty crowded. I can see couples walking along, arm in arm, look at ice cream cones and a bunch of families. A young boy looks to be Riz's age is tugging at his mother's hand a few yards away, begging for some sweet treat or another. There's also a few fair joggers in outfits just as skin-tight as Elizabeth's demon getup, though much less exposed. of all the pedestrians, and will have paused to look at Elizabeth, owing to her cheery explanations. An elderly man waiting for a bus at a nearby bus stop looks particularly perplexed by her presence. I see him set down his paperback, then adjust his glasses, his eyes zeroing on Elizabeth's horns, and then her tail. I sigh. Elizabeth's horns, wings, and tail can probably written off as eccentric fashion accessories. They'll be easier if her wings and tail would stop twitching. Do they do that when she's excited? In any event, she better try to cut that out. Now, can't you keep your voice down? Stop running around on your head. I don't want you get hit by a car or something. Oh, yes. I know what cars are. Those big milk attractions that go very fast. Would it hurt to be hit by one? Yes, it'll knock you flying. You go easy, break a few bones, worse, unless your demon magic can bail you out. Oh, wow. They sound pretty scary. I didn't know the human realm was so full of peril. It should be relatively safe if you keep your wits about you. Sit close to me and Chiharu, and... Look, a cute doggy! Don't go off on your own, I was going to say. I gave a belligerent sigh. I see me doing that a lot lately, as Elizabeth goes dashing off again in the pursuit of said dog. It is a cute dog, I have to admit. It's worth all these curious stares. Hey, Chiharu, can you try to talk sense into Elizabeth? She's not listening to a single word I'm saying. I could do that, but I don't see why I should. Why shouldn't you? It was your idea to go to the shopping trip. It should be your responsibility. It was my idea to go on this trip, yes, but it was your idea to summon her in the first place. Wow. Just wow. Elizabeth wouldn't be in Japan at all if it wasn't for you. I think that places the burden of looking out for her solely upon your shoulders, Taiki. So you're not gonna say a thing to her. I'd rather not. I'm not her minder or her master. And besides, I don't like running. I don't want to get sweaty. If you don't want Elizabeth darting off, maybe you should put a leash on her. I don't know about that. I think we attract more attention that way. Oh well, it's just a suggestion. She acts so much like a pet. I thought that'd be a workable solution. But perhaps not. You'll still have to make do as best you can. Good luck. You have my sympathy. As if you care. I care to the extent that I enjoy watching you run around like a headless chicken. It's rather amusing seeing you so flustered. Well, this is giving you quite the runaround. Well, Chiharu's unpleasant spell widens still. You always complain that seeing our grandparents is boring. At least you can't say the same about our trip this year. But you ought to thank Elizabeth for that. Me? Thank her? Yeah, right. I eye Elizabeth sullenly. She's busy feeding the cute dog she spied earlier. I hope she asked the dog's owner for permission before she descended upon them. The dog's owner, a young woman with glasses, looks a bit bemused. At least she's not told Elizabeth not to beat it. I guess things could be worse. I don't feel like thanking Elizabeth, however. Not for her inexhaustible energy, no, for her inability to listen to me. I don't dislike her, but spending all this time in her company is pretty exhausting. I'm really bone tired. I've been inside a single clothes shop yet. I have enough air to make it through the next couple of hours. I almost dread to think. Wow. How about glow up? So, what do you think? Does this outfit look good, Taiki? Huh? I set my foot down and glanced at the entrance of the fitting room. I've been in this department store for a good hour while Chiharu shepherded Elizabeth through rails of clothes, choosing, trying on, and discarding a myriad of outfits. I can't enter the women's fitting room, obviously, so I've been sat outside, scrolling through random sites on my phone. Initially, I didn't mind waiting. My butt's been parked here for so long, it started to feel numb. Cheering music blasting over the speaker isn't helping either. I'm starting to get a headache. This is supposed to be what, 18th or 9th outfit of Elizabeth's Chiharu has thought to show me. But why she cares about my opinion, I have no idea. I don't have any eye for fashion. I figured Chiharu would take care of the whole clothes shopping thing on her own without my input, but apparently not. Maybe I should feel grateful that she actually cares about my opinion, but I'm starting to wish she hurried up so I can escape. Sitting around a department store for an age is not my idea of fun. Bravo says, well, what do we have here? Bravo, settle down. Actually, this is one of more tamer outfits, because yeah, basically, quick rundown. Taiki and his sisters are staying at the grandparents' house, and then shenanigans happen. We summon this cute demon lady named Elizabeth, or she goes by Alyssa. And yeah, she doesn't have any of her clothes. She came in like in latex, skimpy outfit, and now we're taking her clothes shopping, so she doesn't stand out as much. Aside from her wings and her horns, it must be inconvenient, you know, having your wings like sticking out like that. I'm pretty sure that that's not ever gonna happen to me. Never ever. Anyway, I have half a mind to tell Chiharu that, but do you think it's alright, Taiki? It's so different to the clothes I usually wear. I'm very certain. Bravo says, latex? Damn it, I missed it. Yeah. Besides standing out, also because apparently it was arousing energy among both Taiki and the grandpa. This covers so much skin and seems a bit constricting. Is this how humans usually dress? Oh, the moment I clapped my eyes on Elizabeth, all the arguments all turned to dust. I turned the other 8, or the 9 outfits Chiharu showed me looked fine too. But this particular outfit Elizabeth had on is better even than that. She doesn't look just fine in this ensemble. She looks, if I do say so myself, downright adorable. Chiharu has Elizabeth kitted out of this dark dress with puffy sleeves and a pleated skirt. The dress itself is fairly plain, at least in terms of its color, but it sets off Elizabeth's bright pink hair nicely. Since Elizabeth looks pretty striking as is, striking her in clothes that are too showy would probably be a touch overwhelming. I think the simplicity of this outfit really suits her. I don't know if my opinion's worth all that much, but you don't think this looks strange to me, do you, Taiki? Elizabeth glances at me shyly. Her face is pale pink. Jeez, why does she look so embarrassed? Sure, she'd be more confident, not less, in clothes like this. This outfit's way more demure than her demon outfit, her demon attire. It might not be fair, though, for me to expect Elizabeth not to act a certain way. She isn't an ordinary girl after all. She's a demon. I don't fully understand her customs or her culture. I don't fully understand her either. But there's one thing I'm being led to understand right now, in almost forceful capacity. Elizabeth, she's really cute. Really cute. I thought she was pretty sure when I first met her, but her skimpy outfit made it hard for me to look at her properly. I wasn't sure where to rest my eyes. Now that she's more covered, however, I feel I could take her in properly without, being sided by her boobs. Damn. I'm starting to get flustered myself. Chihiro's done such a good job dressing Elizabeth up. I'm afraid I really might fall for her. You look... pretty good.
Yeah. Do you really think so?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't say it otherwise. You did a good job, Chihiro. This outfit suits Elizabeth to a T, and it's demure enough that she won't draw too much attention. I hope not. It's a shame. Elizabeth can't hide her horns and her tail. We can always say they're fashion accessories if anybody asks. Though I doubt they will. Stopping a stranger in the street to query them about their appearance is pretty rude. So, are we all good with this outfit? Trust neither of you have any objections.
It covers a lot more skin than I'm used to, but...
Elizabeth plucks at the fabric of her dress, then does a turn, the hem of her gown shifting around about her thighs.
If Taiki says he likes it, then I like it. I like it. I trust his judgment.
For some reason, I thought you might say that. Normally, I wouldn't put much stock in Taiki's opinion, especially not when clothes are concerned, but I thought it might be relevant here.
And what makes you say that? Huh?
You don't know. Chihiro's lips curl. Can you really not fathom, Taiki, why a woman might care to know what you might think of her appearance?
I can't fathom much of anything right now.
I've been sitting here for ages. I think my mind's turned to mush. Stop in ages. Don't be such a baby. It's been 1 hour if that. That's a whole hour of my life I'm never getting back, while you two are looking at clothes. Clothes are very important. Don't underestimate them. They make the man, or woman in this case. Can't look at Elizabeth and tell me if my efforts weren't worthwhile. This outfit's much nicer than the others I put together. Don't you think?
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Well then, there you have it. I think I've done a good job, if I do say so myself. I never had to coordinate an outfit for a winged demon before. It's quite the challenge. It's a shame that she can't wear hats on account of those horns. I think a beret would really sell off this look. Chihiro shakes her head. But never mind, I'm satisfied with this for now. And it seems like the two of you are happy, too.
Yes! I know how much human clothes myself. If Taiki's happy, then I'm happy. I'll be more than willing to wear this.
Well, good. It would rather defeat the purpose if you weren't. Now, I do call this some cash, Taiki. Those clothes are going to buy themselves.
Huh? You don't want me to pay for all of this, do you?
Of course I do. Elizabeth is your guest. You're the one who summoned her, which makes her your responsibility. I'm not gonna dig into my funds for her sake. Especially not when I've been saving up for a new pair of shoes.
What?
I scowl.
I get not wanting to pay for the whole thing, but can we at least go half and half? I don't have all that much in the way of savings, you know.
Well, then you should have thought of that before you summoned a scantily clad demon girl.
I didn't do it intentionally. It was an accident.
Accident or not, you still need to take responsibility for her. Why don't you try acting like a man? So she's putting that insult out again. Is she? Chihiro knows no tact. I like to argue with Chihiro, but I fear although this seems she does have a point. There's no reason for Chihiro to take a financial hit for Elizabeth's sake. Elizabeth isn't Chihiro's problem. She's mine. She wouldn't be here without me, but I gotta step up the plate.
I need to act like a man. I don't know if I have my masculine equated to my willingness to fork out large amounts of cash at the drop of a hat, but... Are you two alright? You aren't fighting because of me, are you? No, it's fine. I forced a smile. It's strained, but it's an honest attempt. I don't want to make Elizabeth feel bad. I don't mind paying for these pieces. I mean, how expensive could they be? I try to make it light of the situation, despite the impending hit my poor wallet will take. But I think 30,000 yen should do it. 30,000? Damn, I knew women's clothes would be expensive, but that's daylight robbery. I can afford this, just. But how in this world is this fair? Are you sure that's right, Chiharu? Is that right? I'm quite certain. I made sure to check the price tags while I was putting these outfits together. These are a few pieces that I saw I liked even more than these, but they were too expensive. I was trying to keep things affordable, more or less. I know you're not particularly wealthy. Well, gee, thanks. I'm so grateful. I sigh. How do these manufacturers get away with charging so much anyway? You can buy clothes for like, what, 2,000 yen? A Don Quixote. How do you pronounce that? Don Quixote. 300 bucks? Wow. Well, it's a whole bunch of clothes. So, yeah, I think that's reasonable. You can, yeah, if you don't care about your clothes falling apart immediately after you bought them. I care about the quality even if you don't. You don't want your precious Elizabeth wearing cheap, shiny satin that was made in sweatshop, do you? No, I guess not. She's got me there. Alright, fine, I can afford it. Just don't make a habit of this. I reached in my pocket, begrudgingly, extract a few crumpled notes from my wallet. I hand the notes over to Charo, who accepts them with a smirk. No, she better not do some. She never post something like finder's fee. Like, yeah, and here's my bonus. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Yeah. I think Chiharu's enjoying all this a bit too much. She's really that excited about the prospect of my financial ruination. Women are so heartless. But their clothes are expensive despite having no pockets. I think I can understand why. Being a woman sure is hard. Buddy, you don't know the half of it. I had no idea Chiharu faced so many trials and tribulations for the sake of brand bags and skirts. Yeah, imagine not having pockets. Now I know how much money she's dropped on the contents of her wardrobe. I think I found a new, begrudging kind of respect for her. My oldest younger sister is surprisingly hardcore. My money. Gone. I slumped in my chair, utterly defeated. I feel so drained after the day's events. It feels like my soul escaped from my body. I wonder, as I glance out the window, whether I'll see it drifting above me in the either all vague and incorporeal. I was ready to clean out of the back of the department store, but this really takes the cake. And I do mean that, literally. Why have I gotta keep showing up for Elizabeth? Because she's cute and adorable and precious. I knew having my own personal dating would be so expensive. Stop. Oh, stop your complaining.
Chiharu shoots me a warning look while delivering me to a less than gentle nudge beneath the table. Take it like a man. Again with the man-up remarks. I don't think I've done anything to call my manhood, or lack thereof, according to Chiharu, into question. I think she's just gaslighting me. And there's no way that's inherently manly to conduct oneself beyond stupid stereotypes, which I never cared about. And besides, wouldn't anything else be upset but being strong-armed, spending so much money? I'm within my rights to be upset. I don't think I'm being unreasonably, but look how happy Elizabeth is. You wouldn't want to upset her, would you? I glanced at Elizabeth, who's sitting opposite me at the circular table. After purchasing Elizabeth's new outfit and being financially ruined in the process, three of us went for a walk. Didn't have any particular destination in mind. I think Elizabeth just wanted to see the sights. I was all prepared to take her to the local park so she can look at all the flower beds and maybe the ducks. But Elizabeth had other ideas. She spotted a small cafe, a homey place, all wooden furnishings with cakes on display behind the glass counter, and she begged me to take her inside.
I never had human desserts before. I'm curious. Can you take a look at, please? Taiki, please? Charu, please? Please? Pretty please?
I was all set to refuse, like the mature adult I am. I don't know, these kind of places are pretty overpriced, you know? But Charu vetoed me. Since it was 2 against 1, I was soon overruled. Now the three of us are sitting in said cafe. Charu is nursing a latte and a vanilla and almond slice. I hope she paid that for herself. Elizabeth drools over a cup of cinnamon apple tea and a sizable slice of strawberry shortcake. Shortcake is made of fluffy yellow sponge, which has been piped with white icing, all neat and crisp. On top of the cake, meanwhile, are set a few strawberries, bright red, like precious gems. The shortcake looks delicious, even from a distance. It's picture perfect, like a photograph, not crumbly or smeary at all. I'm not big into sweets myself, even I'm drooling to look at it. I didn't get any cake myself, last or any fancy drink. I didn't want to spend much more money. I spent a small fortune on Elizabeth already, but
This cake looks so good. Thank you for buying it for me, Taiki. You're really a darling.
Liz's happiness is so effusive, it's melting the ice and cases my withered, loveless heart. I don't think Elizabeth means any well. She's simply excited. That's all. All these new experiences. Who can blame her? If I ever visit the demon realm, not that it seems that there's much chance that will ever happen, I'd be swept up by the atmosphere to pay all the much attention to trifling matters like money. For all I know, the economy could be totally different in the demon realm. Elizabeth might even grasp the concept of banknotes. I shouldn't be upset with her, and honestly, I'm not. I'm a bit peeved as to the perilous state of my finance, but I'm not gonna blame Elizabeth for that. Maybe Chiharu was right. For once, at least, I should stop complaining. Nobody likes a killjoy. I don't know if I'm all that nice, but I'm glad you think so. I guess?
I do think so. You're just as sweet as this cake.
Really now? I smile. I don't see how you can make a judgment like that. You haven't tried a cake yet. Do you want to take a bite out of it?
Yes, I was going to eat it. Of course I was. It looks so very lovely. Why do you make me feel guilty? I'd like to preserve it the way it is. But then I wouldn't be able to try it, and that would be a waste.
If you want to preserve it, you can always take a photo.
A photo?
It's easy. Look. Chiharu takes her phone out of her pocket. It is, of course, a sleek, modern model, and positions it above Elizabeth's slice of strawberry cake. Elizabeth watches, awestruck, as Chiharu fiddles with the settings of her phone for a while. Before, click, she takes a photo. There. Chiharu holds her phone up for Elizabeth's inspection. What do you think? Are you satisfied?
Oh, wow! That's incredible, Chiharu! How did you do that? Was it some kind of spell? You're not like a magus yourself, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm perfectly ordinary, as far as I know.
How could you perform such a complex ritual? It's beyond my comprehension.
I just use my phone. They all have the cameras nowadays. It's pretty normal.
So, all humans can perform feats as such as this? I had no idea. Your realm is more fantastical than I imagined.
Says the demon girl. Don't they have cameras where you're from?
No, they don't. I didn't know it was possible to catch an item indefinitely within one moment for a time. It seems like very high-level magic indeed.
It's not magic, like Chiharu said. It's just technology.
Technology?
Yeah, it's science-related, I guess. It's kind of tricky to explain, though if you don't know the underlying theories, you see what they seem pretty incredible.
Yeah, like I was saying, some technology like so advanced it can be mistaken for magic.
No idea that Demon was so far behind beyond ours when it comes to technological advances.
Well, like...
It's like, if you don't have a need for something, you're not going to invent it. So they can live long. They probably haven't developed much medicine, or if they have magic to, like, move places, they don't need, like, a car or anything, or planes. Yeah, there's no need to innovate. I guess that tracks. Though, given demons can, as far as I can gather, use magic. Our societies would develop pretty differently because of this. It is pretty funny, though, seeing Elizabeth so confounded by the simplest things. She's so easy to impress. You'd think she came from the Meiji era. Well, enough about all that. You wanna try our cake now?
Yes! Let me dig in. Sorry, I just, that strawberry looks very delicious.
Elizabeth picks up her fork and slices tiny into the spongy body of her cake. Sponge depresses beneath the weight of the fork, then shears away, small, bite-sized piece now resting upon her fork. Elizabeth surveys this broken off piece of cake for a few moments, a smile playing about her lips before...
Thank you for the food.
Elizabeth pops a piece of cake into her mouth, then chews it. She swallows, her throat convulses, and then...
This is really good. It's just as delicious as it looks. No, more. I never tasted anything this yummy all my life. I feel truly blessed. Thank you so much, Taiki, for buying me this cake. I'll never forget your kindness. Not all my days.
I think you're taking this a bit too far. It's not like I've done anything to be that grateful for. Really. But I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Seeing Elizabeth smile like this almost makes the eye-watering cost of that cake worthwhile. I guess some things in life really are priceless. Not that I'm gonna say anything that corny out loud. That'd be way too embarrassing. Three of us wind up wandering around the town for far longer than I anticipated, largely thanks to Elizabeth's enthusiasm over, well, everything really. By the time we finally get back to the bus, it's already 19:30. This is actually the last bus which stops at my grandparents' village, so it's pretty fortunate we were able to catch it. No thanks to Elizabeth, who wanted to explore even longer. Elizabeth was pretty bummed about the prospect of going back, which isn't something I can fault her for. My grandparents' village might be scenic, but it does have a lot going for it. It's pretty dead, especially in the evening when the sun's begun to set. Then the only sounds you can hear are the I know how to pronounce that. The cicadas. Yeah, the cicadas. Blah. Cicadas. I can't hear much in the way of insects admittedly on the bus, but I'm sure they're out somewhere, way in the undergrowth. The sun's beginning to set, and the horizon, you can see beyond the window, past the fields of sunflowers, is orangey yellow. It's very pretty. Again, praise all this area has to offer. Fields are so wide and flat and empty. It's a little depressing. At least today went well. I'm glad about that too. But aww. While Alice was musing on the day's events, Elizabeth started to doze off. She had no shortage of energy while we were walking through town, but she was exhausted all that since stepping onto the bus. I guess her metaphorical batteries have run out, or maybe her equally metaphorical circuits have shorted. She slumped against me, her cheek resting against my shoulder. Elizabeth's eyes are shut, her lashes matted together, and lips are pursed. Soft sighs escape her lips, while her body shifts to and fro from the bus's irregular motions. I'm surprised you can sleep, and how potted the roads around here are. The bus lurches through one such pot as I ponder this, as she proved to me right, and Elizabeth's body jerks, but she doesn't wake up. She really is out for the count. I wonder what she's dreaming about. Elizabeth might chat on my nighttime musings, but I got no means of knowing what's going on inside her head. Not, I suppose, that I have any right to ask. I might have summoned her. We're not best friends, regardless of how clingy she is. I hesitate to even call us acquaintances. Sure, Elizabeth is pretty cute. I did have a good time with her, but we're still strangers. It's way too soon, surely, for me to form any manner of attachment to her. I should probably nudge her off my shoulder. I have every right to. It's not like I'm a pillow, damn it. That's what I tell myself, at least. But I can feel Elizabeth's breath against my neck when she exhales. It's warm and soft, just like the rest of her. Her size of a chest might be contained in the new fashionable outfit Howard picked out for her, but it's still smushed against my arm. If Elizabeth were awake, may I find her close proximity arousing. As it is, however, I don't feel any particularly turned on. Instead, it's kind of relaxing. It's nice, actually, to have Elizabeth press against me like this. It feels like she's depending on me. I guess she trusts me. Not that there's anything to write home about. Elizabeth is the sort of girl who trusts almost anybody. She's innocent to a fault. Like a little kid. I know I shouldn't read too much into this, but what the heck. If she's tired, I guess I could let her catch a few Z's on my shoulder. What does it matter? It's not like she's causing me any great inconvenience. I could put up with that. There are worse things in the world than having a pretty demon girl use you as a pillow. It's not just my dear young sister, who's only just taken note of mine and Elizabeth's compromising-ish position. Well, well, aren't you too cozy? Cozy as we can be, I guess. In his own tin can. Why? Are you trying to insinuate something? Oh no, I just think it's interesting is all. That you let Elizabeth get so close to you. I didn't peg you for the touchy-feely sort. I'm not the touchy-feely sort. She's the one who fell asleep on my shoulder. I didn't have much choice in the matter. I suppose you have a point. It would be rude, after all, to push her away. But... What? You should count yourself lucky. The only people on this bus. Taiki. Most people don't like it when young couples get too affectionate in public. It's a bit shameless. How is there anything shameless about this? She's just lying there. She is. Yes. But... I think you might be protesting a bit too much. Are you sure you're not enjoying this?
No, I'm not. This is just...
It's just... I hold Chiharu's gaze steady for a few seconds, but soon her knowing expression becomes unbearable. My face flushes despite my best efforts. Elizabeth's breath against my neck doesn't help matters, and I glance away awkwardly. Don't read into it too much. It's not like I really care about this.
Self-voicing disabled.
Alright then, whatever you say. I won't press the issue. Although... You're awful at telling lies. Well, I'll be. Are you really Lisa? You look so nice in your outfit. Almost didn't recognize you.
What? Really? I don't look that different, do I?
We've only just gotten back home after our lengthy bus journey through the sunny countryside roads. The last vestige of said sunlight now sunk beneath the horizon, and it's pitch black outside. It's a little after 20:30. My grandma's busy carrying plates and bowls from the kitchen to the dining room, alongside myself and Chiharu. Well, I volunteered to help, but I've since gotten distracted, owing to my grandpa's phrases.
My new clothes are very different to my old ones, but my fashion haven't changed. I ought to look like I used to, unless these clothes are imbued with some manner of magic.
Elizabeth looks down at herself, her fingers curling about the fabric of her skirt, before she lifts her head to meet my eyes.
Hey, Taiki, I'm still me, aren't I? Do I look like Elizabeth?
Yes, you're still you. You still have the horns, and the wings, and tail, too. I can't think of anyone else who looks like that. Probably we're all that common.
But yes, I suppose you're right.
She forgot about that.
What a dummy. But it's still give me a start. I'm not used to dressing like this, so it feels a bit strange. I did a double take myself when I saw my own reflection in the mirror earlier.
That can happen when you change up your style. You aren't recognizable though, so don't worry. Grandpa was only teasing you. Oh, I never. Grandpa Charles uneasily. I wasn't teasing, Charu. Cheeky thing. I was always trying to offer our guests a compliment. I didn't mean to cause any offense. I know, but Elizabeth takes things literally. Just choose your words more carefully in the future. You don't wish to startle her. Yes, I can see that now. Demons have trouble with turns out of phrase. Candiza was much the same back in the day.
Then, do I still look at myself? Or Hasagawa?
That you do, you're every bit Alyssa, from head to toe. Only now, you look even prettier.
Yes, you're very pretty. Your dress is really nice, Ellie. Look just like a princess.
Who looks like a princess? Grandma shovels into the dining room, holding a large bowl of salad, which Chiharu hastens to take from her. With her hands free, Grandma adjusts her glasses. She turns her attention to Elizabeth, who's becoming the star of the evening show, and gasps.
Oh, Alyssa, Reza's right. You do look like a princess.
That dress suits you so well. It might as well have been made for you.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
It's no problem, dear. I know precious little doubt about modern fashion, but dare I say, I think you look very trendy. Oh, please. Chiharu rolls her eyes. I know you mean well, Gran, but nobody says trendy anymore. That's so old-fashioned.
It is?
It is.
She's right. What does trendy mean?
Ah, well, I suppose the times are always changing. We always said trendy back in my day, but I see that's fallen out of favor. What about hip then? Is that something you youngsters use? That depends on what era said youngsters were born in. I guess it'd be fine if we lived in the 70s. Oh well, I'm hopeless behind these times. Even I can appreciate your nice dress, Alyssa. Why don't you give us a twirl? Yes, give us a twirl. Put on a show. You might as well. What is this? The Paris Fashion Week? Chara raises an eyebrow at this, but I don't think she's actually annoyed. If anything, I don't think she's enjoying all the positive attention her fashionable sensibilities are receiving. Elizabeth might be the center of attention. She's the only one all dressed up.
Bravo says, I'm so hip and trendy. Groovy. Yeah, groovy.
If I had to guess, I'd say Chiharu must be feeling vindicated. It's always a nice feeling having your hard work pay off. When it comes to fashion, Chiharu really does give it her all. Oh, I'm very proud of this outfit, how this outfit turned out. So you might as well examine it. Pretty clothes do exist to be looked at. Yes, indeed, you did an excellent job, Chiharu. You're such a fashionista. Alyssa was always cute, but you turned into a real star. Now look at this way, dear. Why don't we take a photo?
A photo?
Oh, why not? We give it to Candiza when she comes to collect you. I'm sure she'd love to see how you've been settling in. Now, where did I put my blasted phone? You can always use mine if you want. Take a photo. You hold this button here. Oh, yes, I see. Thank you, Chiharu. You're very helpful. I know I am. I'm a regular goody two-shoes. This is such an obvious lie. I can't help but snore. Chiharu is so self-interested. She didn't lift so much as a finger in my search for Nene yesterday. Some philanthropist she is. Speaking of Nene, she's the only member of my family who doesn't look particularly impressed by Elizabeth's transformation. My grandparents are cooling over Elizabeth's new outfit to the detriment of our dinner, which is starting to get cold. Nene hasn't said very much since Elizabeth got back. She's been, and is being, very quiet, unusually so. I wonder if she's alright.
Hey, Nene, is something the matter?
Nene turns her nose up in the air huffily.
What's that supposed to mean?
I can't understand if you don't speak to me, you know. Something bothering you or not? You're looking like someone just peeing in your miso soup. Nene's brows wrinkle. At least I got a rise out of her. Nothing else did. How very glib. Must thou be so crass, older brother of mine? I don't have to be crass, no, but it got you talking. Now, aren't you gonna tell me what's up? It's clear you got some kind of bee in your bonnet. Not that Nanny's wearing a bonnet today. She does sometimes when she's wearing her frilly Rococo-influenced outfits, but she didn't bring any of her ostentatious dresses with her to our grandparents. I guess she didn't want to risk getting them dirty. Kind of from Nene, this is an unexpected clever call. I guess even she's getting more mature. You ought to know what my problem is, dear brother. Raoul says, why does her hair look like a pretzel? Well, why not? Now that you mention it, yeah. Both sides of her... What is it, pigtails or... Yeah, I can see that. Or like Mickey Mouse ears. You ought to know what my problem is, dear brother. Thou dost not think there's something wrong with this picture. With Elizabeth having fun, you mean? No, not with her having fun. Not in general, at least. I don't have any problem with that. What do you take issue with, then? I don't like to see her having fun in such a boring, ordinary manner. She's a demon, so she ought to at least wear a dress like it. And she did, until you let Chi get her hands on her. Now she looks like any other fashionable young woman. In fact, she looks like another Chi. Thou hast brought a genuine demon down to the level of us ordinary humans, and thou hast made her revel in her own desecration. This dark one is very, very unsaid indeed. How thou couldst have agreed to such a foul act, big brother, is beyond me. Thou hast no aesthetic appreciation whatsoever. Well, I guess that tracks. I should have known Nanny would be upset over some silly reason like that. I have half a mind telling her that it's because I have too much aesthetic appreciation that I couldn't, in good faith, let Elizabeth wander around in glorified lingerie. But I decided to keep that pearl of wisdom to myself. I don't want Nanny knowing too much about my tastes. Basic so they are. What guy doesn't like big tits? I never thought I would say that. But this might be nothing more than folly on my part. Nanny already knows what I'm into. She's already seen all my magazines. I'm a bit protrude about my little sister's antisocial behavior. But... look at this way, Alyssa. Turn your head. Like this? Maybe you can hold the skirt up a bit. That will make it drape nicely for the photos. Oh, good shout. That does look good. She's so darling, isn't she? She's just like a little doll. Is this pose alright? It's perfect. I'm going to take a lot of photos now. Smile. But of course, you don't need to tell me that. How can I not smile when you've all been so very nice to me? You really are the best. Ah, well, then it might be skulking, but I can't worry about her later. I'm just glad that Elizabeth seems to be having so much fun. She really is adorable. Dinner is a relaxing affair, conducted in the dining room with the rest of my family. My grandpa and grandma shower Elizabeth in compliments throughout the meal, which makes her cheeks so pink she almost resembles a broiled shrimp. Elizabeth gets so flustered, in fact, she misses her mouth several times with chopsticks and scatters grains of rice all over the tabletop. But not to my relief, over her lap. Be ashamed she got on her brand new dress, dirty after less than a day. Nanny, however, maintains her sullen and sulky attitude throughout the meal. Doesn't talk at the table, a rarity for her, She leaves the table as soon as she's finished eating, without so much as saying a thank you for the food. As her older brother, I feel like it's my duty to hand her some manners to that thick skull of hers. But I get so caught up carrying the dirty plates back into the kitchen, then doing the wash-up. I'm not for a chance. And passes slowly, and Reza begins to flag around 2200. I take Reza to the bathroom like any dutiful big brother should and help him wash his face and brush his teeth. Then I escort him back to our shared bedroom. I'm about to help him change his pajamas when Reza speaks up. Hey, big bro? Yes? Is something the matter? No, nothing's wrong. I was just wondering, did you and Sissy have fun with Ellie today? So that's what he wants to know. It should be easy enough question to answer. It requires a simple yes or no. But now I've been put on the spot like this, I'm not certain. Did I have fun? These events weren't boring. At least. The waiting for the bus doesn't feature highly on my favorite things to do list. I don't know if being not boring is enough to make an experience generally fun. Elizabeth wasn't bad company, but it was alright, I guess. That's all. I could think of better things to do than being hauled around department stores while Chiharu coos over clothes. You know what she's like. It was pretty exhausting. Actually, I was rushed out to my feet and wasn't hanging around for ages, waiting. I don't know if you like it very much. Maybe not. But I think Ellie enjoyed herself. She was smiling a bit. She was smiling a bunch at dinner. She looked all shiny. Shiny. Huh. That's a good way to describe her. She says she's a demon, but she doesn't act like one. I think she's a very nice person. I don't know if she wanna, but do you think it'd be alright if I could spend more time with her? You wanna be her friend? Only if she wouldn't mind. I don't want to force her. You wouldn't be forcing her. Elizabeth's nice, like you said. I think she would love to make more friends, particularly with a cute little kid like you. Hey, I'm not a little kid. I'm almost 7 years old. Yes, my mistake. I'm sorry. I forgot you're practically an adult now, aren't you? Soon you'll be raking in money, picking up pretty girls. I have no choice but to bow and scrape at your feet like a lowly serf. I smiled at Rissa fondly while ruffling the top of his head. His hair already pretty messy, and my ministrations only fuss up further. Not that it matters, I guess, given Rissa's about to go to sleep. If Rissa were Chiharu, he'd freak over being manhandled like this. But since Rissa isn't Chiharu, thank goodness, I have a bit of a leeway to poke fun at him. Not that he wholly appreciates it. Don't be silly, I don't want you to bow to me. We're brothers, I just want to be nice to you. I am being nice to you, aren't I? No, you're teasing me. Well, that's just the way I show my affection, I guess. Can't you show it another way? Sorry, but no. This is who I am. You just have to like it. Or lump it, you little squirt. I give Risa's head another ruffle, then give the tip of his nose part for good measure. Risa goes momentarily cross-eyed in his attempt to follow my fingertip, which makes me snort. You really are a little kid. Compared to you, yeah, but I'll get over. Just you wait and see. And then you get a fancy job, you're raking in the cash, and the pretty girls will surely follow. No, I don't care about girls, even if they are pretty. They all have cooties. Cooties? Huh. Now that takes me back. I think I used to talk like that when I was in elementary school too. That was before my hormones started to kick in. But I had to pay attention to the way my female classmates' bra straps were visible through their white blouses. I think I was like around 12, and I began to use the internet for purposes vastly more nefarious than my previous trawls for cool dinosaur facts. 13 when I looked at my first erotic magazine, and 14 when I saw my first adult video. Time really does fly. It's hard to believe now. I used to be so innocent once, just like Rissa. Kinda envious of how pure he is. You think that now, but I'm sure you'll change your tune in due course, little guy. If you ever need to talk things through, you can always rely on me. I don't mind giving you advice from time to time as you ascend the steps of adulthood. But let's dial things back a notch. You might think girls have cooties now, and you seem pretty interested in Elizabeth. What makes her special? I know what I think Elizabeth's special. I could think of a couple reasons. Actually, I'd like to know what my little brother thinks of her. I'm curious. Well, it's not that she's so special, really. I just think she's nice. I want to talk to her more. And I don't like being left out. It's lonely. I want to spend more time with Sissy and Ellie. And with you too, big bro. Ah, jeez. The emotional appeal went right into my heart. Forget Elizabeth for a second. My little bird is the really adorable one. Ah. Red's gonna be pretty clingy, actually. For all he rolls his eyes at me. Not that I've taken any issue with that, the clinginess or the eye rolling. I get it. I've always regarded Riz as my little brother since he started living with us, but he isn't technically. Riz is actually my aunt's only kid, which makes him my first cousin. We share the same blood, sure, but not to the degree that I do with Chiharu and Nene, who are my real siblings. My aunt and her hubby had settled in Tokyo, but then moved to Europe a couple of years back for work. My aunt didn't want to bring Riz up with her. She was worried about upsetting him, unsettling him. Plus, her and her hubby already worked pretty long hours, so my mother offered to look after him. My parents haven't adopted Rissa. They're acting as his legal guardians, while his parents are living overseas. Rissa's been living with us for 2 years now, and though we've done all we can to make him feel welcome, I sometimes worry there's still a bit of distance there. I guess it doesn't help that Rissa looks so different from the rest of us, Hasegawas, but with a dark complexion, courtesy of his dad. Rissa doesn't really look like he belongs in our family. Sometimes I get the sense he doesn't feel like he belongs either. I'm pretty staunch about calling my little bro, as have my sisters, but I do wonder whether that's enough. I don't want Rissa to feel like he's unwelcome. He's happy enough, for the most part. Sometimes gets despondent. His brows furrows and his head droops, just like an oversized flower. I covered him on more than one occasion, late at night, when he couldn't sleep, and he crept into my bedroom. I'm a dab hand, at this point, at brushing away his tears, and ruffling his hair. I'm reassuring that yes, I'm sure his parents do love him, and yes, they'll come back eventually. For now, however, he's here, and we'll look after him. Everything will be fine. It'll all be fine. I like to think it'll be fine, at least. Rez is a sweet kid, and he doesn't deserve to feel bad. My kind words must have gotten to him over the last couple of years, because he's less prone to crying over than he has, but he still can get gloomy. I guess tonight's one of those nights. Have you been feeling down, kiddo? A little, yeah. I know you and Sissy have stuff to do, but I don't want to hang around here on my own. It's boring. How are you bored? You were at Nene all day. I didn't think it was possibly bored with her around. She was in a bad mood. She didn't want to play with me. She spent most of the day on her phone. Ah, I see. Was she playing that stupid gacha game again? I don't know, maybe. I didn't see much of it, But Sis is getting all worked up. She was complaining about bad RNG and invoke pairs, and then she starts screaming about dupe SSRs. Yeah, that tracks. Nana's been big into this gotcha game for the last few months. She's always playing it, when she isn't LARPing as being a disciple of the great demon lord, I mean. She plays it so much my parents have scolded her for farming mats and rolling for new units at the dinner table, whatever that means. I don't know much about the game myself, neither do I want to. It seems like a total time sink, and a money sink too. I think Nene spent most of her birthday money on that game, going for some rare character she wanted, and she didn't get them. She was pissed for the rest of the day. I don't get why she keeps sticking with that game, and it only seems to make her miserable. But I guess humans aren't always sensible. We all have to do things that make us unhappy. I, for instance, agreed to go on a shopping trip with Chiharu and Elizabeth, despite knowing it may be a massively tedious production. Hi, Jordan. Thanks, Jordan. You have a good night. Stay safe and get well. You and Bear. And as soon as the characters in this scene go to sleep, that I'll make this part 1. That way I could take a break and maybe close out the night with Left 4 Dead 2. But yeah. Have a good night, Jordan. Thanks again for popping in. I wound up spending more money than I anticipated to, though I did blow on getting an PNG over an over-designed anime girl. I guess I could take some pride in that. I guess that explains why Nene's been in such a bad mood all evening, then. She was in a bad mood all day. That's what gacha games do to you. I advise you to keep away from them. It's just gambling. You're too young to develop a crippling fixation on big eye waifus. Don't worry, I don't like any of the real girls in my school, so why would I like make-believe ones? I bet they have cooties too. Now that's a spirit. Keep up that deceitful attitude, and you'll never fall prey to the wiles of any wicked woman, 3D or otherwise. I wouldn't. I'm too sensible. I'll hold you to that. Now, as for being Elizabeth's friend, do you think I could? I don't see why not. She's pretty nice, so I doubt she'll have anything against you. How is she? You're such a sweetheart. Am I really? Uh-huh. You're the best little brother I've ever had. At least. I'm your only brother, and that makes you the reigning champ by default. I don't know if that's much of a compliment. I meant it as one. You're way nicer than Jaro. At least. Elizabeth seems to like her plenty. What reason would she have to take against you? I bet she would chomp you at the bit to spend more time with you. Just need to engineer some kind of outing so we can all enjoy one another's company. I pondered for a moment, one hand beneath my chin, before inspiration hits. Ooh, I know. Why don't we go on a picnic tomorrow? A picnic? Sure, why not? We're out in the countryside, so we might as well make the most of it. Eat by the river, out in the woods. It's not too far away, and it's a very scenic. I think Elizabeth would like the chance to look around. I have no doubts she'll like the food. The way she wolfed her strawberry shortcake down earlier was any indication. I'm going up early tomorrow, and I can make us a bunch of different dishes. Grandma's fridge is always full, so I bet I could cobble up something together. I'm thinking sandwiches. There must have a picnic. I could do some rolled up egg omelets and ginger chicken. Do you think that could be enough food? Sounds good. What about dessert? I should have figured this was not the only person under this roof with an incurable sweet tooth. Russ is a big into sweets too. I think he'd live on chocolate if he could. He's also pretty fond of anything with coconut, which seems kind of an acquired taste for a little kid. But well, we have our own likes and dislikes. Then it has a predatory gacha games, and Reza has coconut cake. I know which of the two I think is more healthy. I'm sure I could whip up something up. Cookies would probably be a safe bet. I could let them bake while I'm working on everything else. Does that sound good to you, Your Majesty? That's great. Thank you, big bro. Don't mention it. It's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal. I'm hardly going out on my way. But if I was, I wouldn't mind. Are you sure? I'm positive. This is what family's about. I'm supposed to look after you. That's just what I mean to do. No matter what. I promise. I finished putting Riz to bed, then head back to the living room where the rest of my family, sans Nene, who's gone to her room in a huff, are watching TV. I tell my grandparents about my picnicking plans, and they give me the okay. Charo seems a little enthused about the idea, but Elizabeth is so excited. Charo eventually caves in. Oh, alright, if you want to do it that much, Elizabeth, I suppose you can. Just don't complain to me if you wind up covered in bug bites. You might be a demon. Your skills aren't all that choosy. Your blow will be just as good as anybody else's. With tomorrow's plans, sir, I pass the next hour or so in the living room. We watch some sappy romance drama that your heart likes. I'm not into these sort of shows. I think they're a bit too melodramatic, but I don't care enough to change the channel. Especially not when Elizabeth seems so into it. She stares at the screen, enraptured, and gasps at every single plot development. It's a small surprise when you hit the first ad break that she has sighed herself into a swoon. Her reactions are exaggerated. I pretend to think she was putting them on, but I didn't know how sincere she is. Elizabeth really does seem to be having the time of her life. I'm having more fun watching her than the show, if I'm being honest. But the show eventually ends, and when it does, I decide to head to bed. I say goodnight to my grandparents, so we give my grandma a kiss on the cheek, and bid a similar goodbye to both Charo and Elizabeth, though I don't, of course, kiss them. I think Chihara would break my fingers if I got that close and personal to her. I don't know Elizabeth will enough for it. Besides, it's not like I particularly want to kiss her or anything. Sure, she's very soft and also very sweet, but I don't think that'd be a bit much for my heart to handle. I have a quick bath in my grandparents' old discard tub, towel myself dry, and brush my teeth. Then, after changing my night clothes, I path back into my bedroom. Russ is still there, tucked up in his futon where I last left him. He hasn't budged an inch since I put him to bed, and his eyelids are tightly shut. Soft sounds spill from the lips in slumber, faint and indistinct when mingled with the humming of insects outdoors. I smile at my little brother, who looks so peaceful, and lie down beside him. I feel weary after the day's events, and this night, like the last, I find it much easier to fall asleep. I'm out like a light within minutes. But before my consciousness can fully escape me, an image flickers across the forefront of my mind. I can't help but think about Elizabeth. Not chirps, I'm gonna call it. This is gonna be end part 1. There we go. So next time it'll be day 3? But yeah. I will take, well, I don't know if I'm gonna do Left 4 Dead 2 or just, yeah, finish up. I'll probably take a break and then I'll let you know both on the server and on the channel whether or not I'm gonna do a Left 4 Dead 2 outing. Anyway, thank you so much everybody for yeah, even though I'm gonna get back to Please Be Happy, but I felt like I wanted to veer off into something more yeah, more like this sort of thing. I do not want to elaborate on that. Chara says, later, Niv. Anyway, and for any newcomers or any lurkers who've been like watching this too or listening, thank you very much. This is VTuber Adair and Jihad signing out. Thank you very much, Jarvar. Bravo. Ghostwolf. You two go funny. Carsling. Prodax with his smiley face. Zeal. Sick resonance. And all to the rest of the chirps, if you couldn't make it, or you're not interested in visual novels, I get it. Everyone has preferences. But yeah, I'll see you next time if, I don't know, next stream today, or, I don't know, like tomorrow. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay nifty. I love all of you, and I'll miss you. Later. Bye.